Johnson assumed the role of head coach in Miami, his team looked more like an unfinished jigsaw puzzle than a work of art. As with any puzzle, the hardest task becomes one of where to begin. For Johnson, that crucial first piece was Dan Marino. Placed in the protective custody of Pro Bowl lineman Richmond Webb and Keith Sims, history's greatest passer, reminded New England why he had that title. He completed 16 of 22 passes on a day where Miami would see its first win of the season and its first glimpse of a new era. A missing piece in Johnson's defense was discovered in the form of 5'11" Zach Thomas. The fifth-round draft pick from Texas Tech would make his season debut as the Dolphins' leading tackler. But Jimmy knew he would have to return to his offense to make his puzzle complete. Rookie running back Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was the perfect piece to strengthen the Dolphin running game and preserve Marino's arm. And in his NFL season debut, he would finish as the team's leading rusher. For now, the Johnson jigsaw is complete. And though it is far too early to predict how well this carefully crafted puzzle will hold together, it is safe to say that this new Miami team will be ready for Arizona.
Hell of a job, guys. Hell of a job. That's a way to fight through it. Now we got to get those Arizona Cardinals.
Week 2 of the 1996 National Football League season, and the Fish have left Florida and come to the desert. The Miami Dolphins have come before a crowd of 50,000 expected, some fans showing much more wisdom than others. 101 degrees, the first time these two teams have ever met here in the Valley of the Sun, the Miami Dolphins and the Arizona Cardinals. And good evening, everybody. Vern Lundquist along with Pat Hayden. A little bit warm, but that's an okay thing. We have two coaches in their first year with these respective clubs. Vince Tobin with the Cardinals, Jimmy Johnson with Miami, and the one a little more celebrated than the other.
Well, you know, Jimmy Johnson, for the second time in his NFL career, follows a coaching legend. First it was Tom Landry in Dallas, and now Don Shula in Miami. And for the second time, he is predicting that he'll get this team to the Super Bowl. And this team had a big win last week against New England. And he said we got credibility because we won the way we wanted to win. We ran the football, we stuffed the run. And Vern, I think this Miami team is going to be a good football team, but a much different type of Dolphin team, molded in Jimmy Johnson's character. They're young, they're bold, they're aggressive, and they're very confident.
Johnson becomes the third head coach in Dolphin history going back 30 years. In that same time span, Vince Tobin becomes the 20th head coach at the Cardinal helm.
Yeah, and the 5th one here in Phoenix, and nobody's been able to get it turned around, Vern. I think the most difficult thing to do in the National Football League is to turn a franchise around, and the first thing you have to do, as Vince told us yesterday, is get the attitude right. So that's one of the very first things he did when he came in the winter. We start talking to his players about believing in the coaching staff and in themselves. They played well in their first game. They had a chance to win at the end, but there are no moral victories. This is a very important game for these guys and their confidence.
One of his more significant decisions, and one of his first decisions, was to change quarterbacks. And the surprise, I guess, is they brought in a 35-year-old to lead this team.
Well, not a surprise when you think about the confidence that Boomer Esiason brings to team. And he's played on some very good teams and some bad teams, but all through the way he's been a good leader, a tough leader, and a very confident guy. And that is going to be his most significant contribution to this team. Now, certainly they need him to play well, but his attitude is even more important. Had a good game last week, and he needs to play exceptionally well to lead this team over a good Miami defense. Now, on the other side, Dan Marino, he said to us last night, hey, last week's win was an important one for us because it took some pressure off. It took some of the pressure, the hoopla away from all the Jimmy Johnson replacing Don Shula. And for me, he said, it took the pressure off me. I only had to throw the ball 22 times, and yet they still won the ball game.
Miami has won the toss, and they will receive to the left. "101 degrees, which makes this the warmest game in which the Miami Dolphins have ever participated. The previous high was not, as you might suspect, at home. It was on the road in Los Angeles in 1988. That was at 96 degrees. Greg Davis will kick it off. And Jared McPhail is one of the deep men. He had some problems with kickoffs opened the season last week. He muffed a couple of them and gave Miami very poor field position. That's McPhail on the left. 7th meeting ever between these two. Arizona has never defeated Miami. Here's Greg Davis's kick. McPhail at the 10. Much better result than he had with the 2 kickoffs in the second half at Indianapolis. Tito Paul makes the tackle, and Dan Marino visits this stadium for only the 2nd time in his career, 1st time as a pro. He played here as a freshman at Pittsburgh in 1979 in the Fiesta Bowl.
And Vern, simply put, there is no better passer that has ever played this game. You know, you can argue the merits about who's the best quarterback of all time, but there has never been a better passer than Dan Marino.
Gets under his center, Tom Ruddy. Play action on 1st down, and Marino flips it left. It's caught, and O.J. McDuffie makes the grab for a quick 1st down. Backs and receivers for the 2nd week in a row. The rookie Kareem Abdul-Jabbar gets the start at tailback. Byers at tight end, McDuffie, and Lamar Thomas opens at a wide receiver spot. And the offensive line, the strength of which is on the left side behind Webb and Sims. 1st down and 10 at the 45. Backs in the eye. Jabbar comes right. Seth Joyner is one of those up high to make the tackle. Gain of a couple. Jabbar with 115 yards in his debut as a pro last week. Defensively for Arizona, Swan and Wilson, Bankston, and the rookie Simeon Rice, 3rd in the draft this year. The linebackers Joyner, Hill, Jameer Miller. And the secondary, probably the weakest part of this defense, Williams, Alexander, Darby, and Hogue.
Aeneas Williams, though, is a corner that could play on any team and in any era.
2nd down and 8. Marino, 5-step setup. Dumped at the 41. Jameer Miller, number 95.
If you're going to play Dan Marino and beat Dan Marino, the important thing is get pressure on him. You don't sack him much, but you got to get some hurries. But once in a while, when you get good coverage, you get to him. I mean, I think Marino did a remarkable job of not fumbling that ball. And this is an important defensive series for the Cardinals. You talked about how they've been terrible in the home openers over the last 9 years. And this is a big 3rd down on this 1st series for the Miami Dolphins.
Yardage needed is 13. They need to get to the Arizona 45. Not much pressure. Deep left side. Man is wide open, and Marino overthrows him. Charles Jordan getting his first action as a professional.
And Charles Jordan, number 88, was open. And he is new to this ball club, and they're trying to find out. Number 88 at the top of the screen against Brent Alexander. Had him beaten. And that's a touch. But this is a guy they feel can really explode for them. Remember, Fred Barnett is out with an injury, and Charles Jordan is going to have to be their deep threat. Jordan came as a restricted free agent from Green Bay. Here's the kick by John Kidd. Dowdell waits for it. Flag is down. Dowdell has it at the 10. Fumbles it out of bounds. So now let's check the flag. The referee tonight is Howard Rowe.
Ball is spotted out of bounds at the 20.
Vince Tobin, 52 years of age, 18 years an assistant. Unsportsmanlike conduct against the Cardinals is the preliminary indication. Of course, last week the emotional first game as a head coach when he went to Indianapolis and tangled with his brother Bill. You know, and his team played solidly. You know, they said we played all 4 quarters hard, which is they didn't do a lot last year.
Team came back in, pushed the player out of bounds, half the distance to the goal, 1st down.
And they had a chance to win in the 4th quarter. So 2 good signs. But the best thing for their confidence, will be a win tonight over the Dolphins.
Cardinals have held defensively. They've got a first down at their own 10. 4 to go opening quarter, Miami and Arizona. As we said, this is the 7th meeting between these two, and Miami has won the previous 6 by a huge amount. Last time these two teams played, they did so in the stadium formerly known as Joe Robbie. And the time prior to that was 1984 in St. Louis. First and 10, Boomer Esiason had a pretty good outing against Indianapolis last week. Sends his tight end Carter in motion and hands it off. Leland McElroy, the rookie second-round draft pick who picked up 73 yards in the opener last week, gets the first carry out to the 14.
And there's Boomer, and you know, while the Cardinals have tried to turn this program around since they've moved to Phoenix, they've gone through 5 head coaches now. I mean, the biggest thing is I don't think they've had their players really believing they can win in, week out. And they kind of hope they can win. Vince Tobin is trying to turn that around. The first ingredient for that was Boomer Esiason.
Esiason across the middle. That might be enough for the first down as Frank Sanders, number 81, makes the grab. And there's a good early indication of things going well for the Cardinals. Backs and receivers. Sanders dropped 2 last week, including a possible touchdown.
I knew you'd get there. Yeah.
I had a point. McElroy and Larry Setters in the backfield. It will be a first down, first and 10. Lomas Brown came as an unrestricted free agent from Detroit to anchor the line at left tackle. Tobin says this is an improved offensive line from a year ago. Hand it off, and Larry Setters, fresh from a Pro Bowl appearance a year ago, known primarily now as a pass receiver out of the backfield, but he gets a carry on first down and 10. Defensively for Miami, George Hill, the defensive coordinator. Steve Empman gets a start for Daryl Gardner, the first-round draft pick who's nicked, has a bad ankle. Bowens, Armstrong, and Stubbs. Hollier, Zach Thomas, the star of last week's game. And in the secondary, Terrell Buckley. Jackson is back. Oliver and Atkins complete the secondary. Esiason comes left. He's got another first down. Rob Moore, his former teammate with the New York Jets.
If the Cardinals are going to have a good game tonight, as well as a solid season, I think Rob Moore, number 85, is one of those keys. Number 85, Rob Moore, has got the size. He's the bottom of the screen here at 6'3". And, you know, a lot of receivers get lost in traffic, but you can find Rob Moore virtually anywhere on the field. And I think in particular, Rob Moore has to be really strong when this team gets down inside the 20.
That's another first and 10 for Arizona. They fake the toss, hand it off to Sellers, then the option pitch and a fumble, and McElroy goes back to pounce on the football at the 28.
You know, a cute little option play, but Terrell Buckley was not fooled. I mean, this was kind of a clever little design. I'm sure this looked great on the blackboard on Monday and Tuesday as they fake the pitch and they hand the ball inside. And this is really an option play. It goes off Trace Armstrong, but Terrell Buckley was not fooled, was there, strips the ball, and Jimmy Johnson put a great emphasis on stripping the ball carrier of the ball as he did right there.
Loss of 9, and it's 2nd and 19. Esiason quickly comes left and finds a receiver out to the 35-yard line. Rob Moore equals the number of catches he had last week here in the early going.
And twice they've thrown the ball over on J.B. Brown's side, filling in for Calvin Jackson. There's J.B. Brown, one of those guys that goes underappreciated a lot of times, but they're going to test him. I mean, Calvin Jackson was a starter injured last week, and twice now Esiason's thrown over to Brown's side.
On 3rd and 11, they'll go out of the shotgun. 3rd and 12, make it. 3 wide receivers set. Esiason with time settles for the short man. That's Anthony Edwards, and he gets to the 40-yard line. Zach Thomas, number 54, 5th-round draft pick, who became an instant celebrity in the Miami area with his performance last week, made the tackle.
Yeah, well, on 3rd and 12, you're thinking of getting the ball downfield, but the safeties took away the deep throws, and it's awfully hard to pick up 12 yards when you dink the ball to Anthony Edwards at 4 yards. I mean, that's a bring in the punt team play.
Jeff Eagles is on to punt, and O.J. McDuffie waits for it at the 10. High snap. Eagles has it blocked.
Double fun.
It's picked up at the 27-yard line.
I think it was Larry Izzo, a special teams star, who blocked it.
Larry Izzo from Houston, who was told before the last preseason game by Jimmy Johnson, call your folks, you made the team.
Right up the middle, Izzo comes. And you know, just got the left-handed paw out there, and you know, he just did a little swim move over the center. When you see defensive linemen make a lot of swim moves, but that time he just swam right over the center. It gets clean shot up at the punter and gets his left hand up.
Haven't seen a lot of blocked punts in recent years. There's the first for Feagles in a few years. And a first down at the 24. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for a couple behind Richmond Webb and Keith Sims on the left side.
Let's go back to that punt block. And Izzo comes right up the middle. And he was, again, when a swim move, you know, you always see the defensive lineman do it. And the center just really, he was concentrated so much on the snap, just missed him, whiffed it.
Well, in his career, Feagles has had 4 blocked. That is the first since 1991. All set up by the bad snap. Marino dropped. Jabbar.
Now, really a different type of start for Miami this week than a week ago, Vern. Remember last week they came out and ran the ball with Jabbar. And Jimmy Johnson and the Miami Dolphins are familiar with Vince Tobin. Vince Tobin, the defensive coordinator at the Colts, and the Miami saw him twice last year, and they felt, hey, we're going to have to come out and attack them on the perimeter with a passing game, and that's just what they've done. But certainly a different start, game plan-wise, than last week.
3rd and 8, no score. Midway through the opening quarter, Marino out of the shotgun. Tom Ruddy will snap it back. Blitz coming from the Cardinals. Marino across the middle. That is going to be a first down. Lamar Thomas, who got the start tonight for Scott Miller, who started a week ago in place of Randall Hill. They're unsettled at that other wide receiver spot opposite O.J. McDuffie.
Just what I was going to say, unsettled. Number 85, Lamar Thomas. And what you love on when you have man-for-man defense, which the Cardinals had there, is crossing routes where the wide receiver can run all the way across the field. And if you throw it to him accurately, he can run with the ball after the catch. He does there. They have a first down.
9 on the pickup, 1st and 10 inside the 15. Jabbar stuffed.
I don't think you want to run at Michael Bankston, number 63, and Eric Swan's side, number 98. Those two guys who play the left side for the Cardinals are awfully stout against the run, particularly that guy, Eric Swan. Bankston down here at the left of the screen, number 63, just kind of fights off Pritchett, a fullback. And Swan is, you know, has Reggie White kind of strength.
No gains, 2nd and 10. No score. 6.5 to go in the opening quarter. Marino. There's a bump and contact and a flag.
Yeah, it's got to be.
Brett Alexander.
But that's a good flag by Brett Alexander. Otherwise, that's a touchdown. Brett Alexander, playing right corner, got fooled. It's a slant and then a corner. He thought he was going to run the slant, but he knows he's beaten for a touchdown, and I think did the smart thing. He saved 6 points. And Brent Alexander is a safety playing corner for Vince Tobin. And I tell you, Dan Marino he will find people that are out of position, and he'll work on them. He is a mistake magnifier.
Well, they gave that spot to 2 other guys in preseason. Neither filled the role, so they've asked Alexander to go back. And he's out there on the island again now. 1st and goal. Jabbar tries to bounce it to the outside, but not much there. Matt Darby, number 43, led the defensive charge.
Yeah, along with Michael Bankston again. And Michael Bankston, number 63 for the Cardinals, one of those really productive people. And I think he really benefits playing next to Eric Swan, because Eric Swan gets so much attention. But he is a consistent, relentless kind of guy.
O.J. McDuffie goes wide left. Lamar Thomas wide right. Backs are split. Pritchett, Abdul-Jabbar, and Marino is audibly at the line. Jabbar, incomplete, third down.
One thing about audibleizing with rookies, I was talking with Bernie Kosar this week about this, is one of the things Dan Marino does so well is audibleize, but when you have two rookie starting running backs, which the Dolphins do, it's, you take some risks, and there was some miscommunication there between Marino and Jabbar on that one.
Third and goal.
And here's where O.J. McDuffie has been Marino's go-to guy this year.
Three receivers left. Now McDuffie comes in motion and starts back to the left. Drills it, tipped away. What a defensive play. And a flag is down. Wasn't as good as I thought.
That's why. It did look like a good play. I think it was Brett Alexander.
Yes.
Again, and we talk about Marino being a guy that magnifies mistakes. Yeah, he got the left hand on there. That was pass interference. Brent Alexander is probably...
Spot the ball on the 1-yard line. First down.
Brent Alexander is a free safety playing right corner right now, and Dan Marino knows that.
Time has been called on the field. Alexander injured on the play, in which he was also called for pass interference for the second time. Brent Alexander on the sideline, guilty of the pass interference and injured on the same play. No update yet, but he'll have to sit out at least this one.
Yeah, if there's a good play action down in football, it's first and goal.
That's Keith Byers in motion. Now comes back to the right. Jabbar. Fumble.
Marino got it. I think Marino made the recovery.
Michael Bankson made the first contact.
His rookies played so well last week. Jimmy Johnson's, including that guy, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who ran for 115 yards. But this is good defense. First they stuff him and stuff him right there, and then somebody else strips him. It was the entire defensive line. Eric Swan was in there. I think England was in there as well. And this is not as good a play action. Now, you don't run at that guy too successfully. Eric Swan.
Not with any college experience.
No.
Don't even need a degree. Jabbar, left side. Big surge by the offensive line. He got in, touchdown.
Boy, was that a good run, Vern? I mean, only a 2 or 3 yard run, but that was a determined 3-yard run by Jabbar.
With memories of a fumble lingering in his head.
Yeah. Got a good lead block by Keith Byers, and then his fullback, Stanley Pritchett. Drive kept alive by 2 penalties on Brent Alexander.
Second touchdown of his professional career for the 3rd-round draft pick out of UCLA. If you don't know the story, and I think most of you are familiar with it by now, he changed his name because of his religious faith before his senior year at UCLA. Was Sharman Shaw, and said the name was chosen by the imam of the mosque. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, a touchdown from 2.5 out.
And this is what you call a determined run. You get stopped, you get jammed at the line of scrimmage, you keep turning, you twist, you keep the legs going, and you get in the end zone, you put your team up on top by 7.
We're at Sun Devil Stadium, Mesa, Arizona, just outside of Phoenix, the Arizona State University campus. And the aerial shots tonight courtesy of the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based in Carson, California. Tonight's pilot is John Creighton from Torrance, California. And the Cardinals have the ball back for the 2nd time here in the first quarter, inside the 9. Esiason has his backs shifted straight to the left. Lomas Brown can't get the block. McElroy is stopped. And take a look at the Nicotrol scoreboard tonight. Indianapolis defeats the Jets. They had a stoppage of play for lightning in that game.
Dallas got back on track after an awful Monday night game. I still think the Oilers are going to be a good football team.
2nd down and 9 from the 10. set up by Esiason, and then he overthrows Frank Sanders. And that'll give Arizona a 3rd and 9.
I'm talking to Boomer Esiason yesterday saying, hey, you know, I came here for a variety of reasons. Most of all, I think I'm having fun here again. I got out of the grind of New York. This is a team that he really had to sell himself to come here. He actually had some coaches, old coaches, call the Cardinals and said, hey, do you need me? Would you like me? He said he's salary cap friendly. But he also believes that he's got some very good offensive talent around him.
3rd and 9. Nothing game. Esiason incomplete. It'll be 4th down. Boomer said that Vince Tobin got the job on February 7th. He called him on February 8th. Then he had Bruce Coslett and Pete Carroll and Sam Weish call Vince Tobin and say, look, you've heard the rumors about his arm. It's not a problem. He can still play and he can still throw it.
The problem right now is protecting your punter.
Aaron Graham snaps it back. Pressure's coming. Fiegels gets rid of it. McDuffie to the 45-yard line.
They almost got another one. Robert Bailey almost blocked that punt by Fiegels. And then Fiegels, you know, the Emmys are on another network tonight.
I heard that.
And this is an Emmy-winning performance. Watch 23 Bailey come off the corner, get shoved at the end, but nearly gets there. Hits him, tries to catch him, and then the acting job. Now there's a running and a roughing the kicker. That should have been a running into the punter and a 5-yard penalty. Wouldn't have given the first. There's the act, and he does give the envelope, please, for the Emmy.
You think it was an act?
Yeah, it was. Laurence Olivier couldn't have done it any better.
Are you nominated for one tonight?
No, I wasn't anything like Happy Gilmore.
2 weeks in a row. Marino. Is that a thing of beauty?
Yeah, it is. The thing about playing against Dan Marino is you have to really worry about 3 things. One is the quick decision. That's the thing he does so well. And he makes the right decision almost every time. And then everybody talks about the quick release. Well, that's the second thing. The ball gets out of his hand and to the receiver quicker than anybody in the game. And the third thing is he is incredibly accurate.
Scott Miller wide left. Pritchett, the fullback, is in a wing to the right side. Into the flat, caught by Jabbar. Flag is down. This one might come back. Brent Alexander made the tackle.
But that's just another example of his accuracy, even though there was a penalty. I mean, you get the ball out to a running back, Jabbar, where he doesn't have to adjust for it, can make a clean catch, and you pick up 8 yards. You know, if the running back has to adjust to it, you know, you pick up 2.
Oh.
Defensive hold.
It's against Carolina, or Arizona. Speaking of Carolina, they go 2-0 today.
I don't think you can't really qualify them or call them an expansion team. They're a very good football team.
Vince Tobin.
They're saying today in the newspaper that we have too many historians and not enough pioneers.
Number 79 defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
And what he meant by that, that's Simeon Rice, the penalty on him. What Tobin meant by that is we're getting dragged down by the pass. He's trying to put the pass behind this franchise, and it's a very difficult thing to do. 5 head coaches since they moved here in 1988 to Phoenix, and they have not gotten it turned around yet.
After the penalty, a first down at the 32-yard line. That's the 4th Arizona penalty in the early going. 2 of them pass interference calls. Marino looks over at Jimmy Johnson. First and 10. Overthrown and incomplete. It'll be second down and 10.
We talked about Dan Marino's game last week where he only had to throw 22 passes, Vern, and this team, if they really can run the ball like they did last week, and just think as a two-dimensional team, they could be the best offense in football. For so long, they have relied on Dan Marino, his arm. Jimmy Johnson calls him the candy store. You don't want to rely on the candy store too often because he can get addictive. But Jimmy's lost 20 pounds.
25. Yes.
Looks good.
He hadn't been going to the candy store. Marino gets rid of it. Brett Carroll, number 84, picked up as a free agent, having cleared waivers. He was released by the 49ers back in mid-August.
I'll tell you, Simeon Rice has some long arms, and he's going to make some plays this year like this. You get those outstretched arms like that, and Dan Marino is a guy that needs the least amount of space of any quarterback I've ever seen to be able to get a ball off. You know, a lot of quarterbacks need a lot of room in front of them to step up and throw, or they need great protection. He can get more done in a confined area than any quarterback in the league.
3rd and 8 now. 4-man rush from the Cardinals. Good protection from Marino. Drills it across the middle. Another first down for Miami at the 16-yard line.
Deadly.
McDuffie with the catch.
He makes the right reads. He makes the right throws. And he is very, very accurate. And when he doesn't have something, a couple of plays ago, Vernie threw one out of bounds. There's a big passing lane over the middle for him. There's nobody obstructing his view. He's got the bounce back. And there's the quick release right in the numbers. I mean, you're not going to see a lot of tip balls by his receivers. It's an easy ball to catch.
7-0. And a 1st and 10 at the 16. Jabbar, who had that big first outing against New England, has been held in check on the ground for the most part. That's his 7th carry for 9 yards.
You know, the team ran for 146 yards last week. A year ago, they averaged less than 100. And we said this team is being characterized or built in Jimmy Johnson's mold. I mean, young, bold, very, very confident, as certainly Jimmy is, and two-dimensional.
2nd and 8, 6 play. Jabbar at the 12th. Well, he excelled on the field, but he had a mix-up last week with the equipment manager, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, in his first game as a Miami Dolphin, and learned after it was all over that the name on his jersey had been misspelled. They made sure that it was Abdul-Jabbar this time around. We've reached the end of the first. It's 7-0 Miami. Welcome back to the Valley of the Sun. We start the second quarter on TNT. Miami leading at 7-0. Vern Lundquist, Pat Hayden, Ernie Johnson will be along with us after the game. And the Dolphins threatening again. They've got a 3rd and 4 at the 11-yard line.
And a time for Eric Swan, a defensive line, to put some pressure on Marino.
Marino goes in the right flat. It's caught by Charles Jordan. That'll be a 1st and goal at the 2.
Charles Jordan is going to have an increasing role for this Miami team. I mean, he's just getting acclimated to the team, just getting acclimated to the throws of Dan Marino, but that guy is a deep threat. Look at the penalties Arizona had in the first quarter. 4 penalties.
And the mistakes on special teams.
Yeah, and look at the field position. And the special teams leads to good field position by the Dolphins.
1st down goal at the 3-yard line. Jabbar, maybe a yard. Eric Hill, number 58, who has been the most vocal of the veterans here, Pat.
He is sick and tired of losing. Number 58, the middle linebacker. And if you're going to stuff the run, here's how you do it. You go from tackle to tackle. You get your shoulder pads and face in the way, and he goes nowhere. But he has been very, very frustrated. Last year at the Super Bowl, he was introduced in front of a home crowd in here in Tempe and was booed and wanted to be traded after that experience.
2nd and goal. They'll try it again. Jabbar gets a good block and a touchdown.
And by Pritchett. Stanley Pritchett, the fullback. One rookie blocks the way for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the other rookie. And as it always seems to happen in these Cardinal home openers, they're battling uphill again. I tell you, these two rookie backs really do a good job for one another. Pritchett is number 36. He's the fullback. He's leading the way for 33, Jabbar. And it was Byers with a Keith block earlier on one touchdown. This time it's Pritchett, and Jabbar gets in for the 2nd time in this first half.
Joe Nedney on for the extra point, the young man who ousted Miami favorite Pete Stoyanovich and sent him to Kansas City for a 5th-round pick. And Nedney gets the extra point.
A different Miami team than a year ago, a team that can run with some power, and a very good running team inside the 5.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar with 2 touchdowns on the ground. You know what they've always said about Miami. You got to stop the run.
Yeah, can you imagine? People actually, we came here to Phoenix, and the Cardinal defensive coaches are saying, we got to stuff the run. I think it's almost silly when you're playing against Marino, but that's the idea.
Al-Jabbar's got 2. Nedney will kick off. McElroy, who had a 36-yard career average, almost let that one go.
They're having a tough night with special teams.
Esiason back, goes deep, right side, overthrown for Rob Moore.
This is one of those, important drives for Boomer Esiason and the Cardinals, down by 14, playing the home opener, trying to, struggle back from all this adversity this franchise has had. The offensive coordinator, Jim Fossil, has done a good job in a number of different places. Who actually did a lot of due diligence on Boomer Esiason before they signed him.
2nd down and 10. Left side, McElroy, jail.
If you can't run the ball a lick, and the Cardinals have not been able to do that tonight, you are not going to win many football games. This defensive front, and then the linebacker, Zach Thomas, number 54, played exceptionally well against the run last week. Only allowed 29 yards, and he was all over the place. 9 tackles. Those are solo tackles. 5 solo tackles on Curtis Martin.
Rushing yards, zip thus far for Arizona.
Nada, 0. What else can you say?
I have a cat named Nada. Just reminded me, I got homesick there for a minute.
A cat named Nada.
Yeah. Some among a large group of animals that reside in our home.
See, there's new parts and facets of you I learn every week. I didn't realize you were such an animal lover.
4th down and 15. Tobin.
Yeah, they have struggled so far on special teams, the Cardinals. And Vince Tobin right now needs a solid snap to his punter, Jeff Feagles, and to get it away cleanly.
Aaron Graham is the snapper. This one is off the side of his foot.
Thank you very much. It's been a dismal special team start.
Jeff Feagles, who played in the Pro Bowl a year ago. And a tough night.
Jeff Feagles wears earplugs to block out the noise. It's a good night to be wearing earplugs. He's got 1 block and 1 shanked. Thank you very much.
In the foreground, the veteran punter Jeff Feagles. Right behind him, the rookie snapper Aaron Graham. They are talking with some animation.
Yeah, and rightfully so. Look what has happened on special teams. Again, special teams can kill you, particularly early in the year, and it's killed the Cardinals thus far in this first half.
Marino hands it off, a very short field again. Jabbar almost breaks it coming left. He gets down to the 20.
For a rookie, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is a very disciplined runner. A lot of rookie runners try to bounce everything outside because in college they could outrun everybody. But you have to be disciplined, go where the hole is called, and as he finds a little crease here behind Webb and Sims, and it wasn't much of a crease, but he twists his body. He almost became, half his size as he kind of twisted his way through that hole and picks up about 7 yards.
Seth Joyner with the tackle. Second down and 3. 14-0. Jabbar now with 22 yards. Marino, man wide open, touchdown. Lamar Thomas makes the grab.
You know, Dan Marino over his career has done it with a lot of different people. Lamar Thomas has only been here for 2.5 weeks. And yet when you're as good as Marino is, and you pick out a guy, and you pick out a spot one more time that was thrown to his left side against Brett Alexander, a free safety playing corner, you're taking advantage of a mismatch.
The 353rd touchdown of Dan Marino's career. Touchdown pass. The quick striking Dolphins take advantage of the short field. They go 27 yards in 2 plays, and they're up 21-0.
Well, really, Lamar Thomas actually is covered by Terry Hogue, the free safety. Alexander releases him, but another perfect throw, and they're up by 3 scores now.
101 degrees when we kicked it off a short time ago, and Miami has been as hot as the temperature. They're up 21-0 now early in the second quarter. Dan Marino just found Lamar Thomas for a touchdown after the shank punt gave the Dolphins only 27 yards to travel. Here's Nedney's kick. McElroy
bobbled that one too.
Man, oh man.
Let's go back to the touchdown, though, Vern. I was wrong. It was not thrown against Brett Alexander. It was really, this is Brett Alexander. He's doing his job staying in the flat, and he gets held by this guy. Here's the corner pattern, and it's the free safety, Terry Hogue, who loses him. Now, this is an unfair position, really, for Terry Hogue to have to cover this route, because he is not going to make up that kind of ground with the arm of Dan Marino.
There's Terry Hogue in the sideline now, giving way to the offense, which hasn't moved the ball much at all. Here's Esiason trying to get a bundle, and it's out of bounds, incomplete. Caught by Rob Moore, but dancing on the sidelines.
A 21-0 lead takes the running game away. And, you know, you're trying to keep a game close. You're trying to get into the fourth quarter. You're trying to build confidence. But Miami has taken all of that away with this 21 points here in the first half. And this is a confident man and a confident team, in spite of the fact 10 rookies and 4 rookie starters.
Backs in the eye. Frank Sanders starts in motion. McElroy is having a nightmare of a night so far.
But Zach Thomas, once again, is having a good night.
And they played against each other in the Southwest Conference in its final year. McElroy at A&M, Zach Thomas at Texas Tech.
An emerging star in the National Football League. One of 4 rookies who start for Jimmy Johnson. And, you know, he came to camp as a 5th-round draft pick. He was short, so he wasn't drafted to the 5th round. He's 5'11". And Jimmy said, you know, we tried him at special teams, did a great job on the nickel defense. Then he kept making play after play after play. And then he went to Jack Del Rio and say, hey, I'm sorry, Zach Thomas is going to be my starter every down.
No flag. Yes, there is one. The ball is incomplete. Esiason intended for Sanders. Now we'll see who moved. Robert Bailey was defending.
Offside. Number 97 on a defense. 5-yard penalty. Repeat 3rd down.
Aaron Jones, referred to as grandpa by Darrell Gardner, the rookie.
I asked him if you call Aaron Jones grandpa. Aaron Jones is in his 9th year. I said, what do you call Dan Marino, who is in his 14th year?
Sir.
Sir. Yeah, that was a good response.
21-0. We'll try the 3rd down again. 3rd and 8.
Boy, they desperately need a conversion.
No blitz. Pass is caught for the 1st down after the 31-yard line. Frank Sanders, number 81. Robert Bailey defending.
When we talk about confidence, that's another guy, Frank Sanders, that needs some confidence. You mentioned he dropped the ball early last week. Dropped the touchdown. He's number 81 right there in the middle of your screen, fighting through traffic, finding a little dead spot. and then holds on to it. What you love to see there about Sanders, he knew exactly where the first down marker was. I was watching a couple games today, watching receivers go short again on third downs.
Esiason across the middle completes the pass to the 35, the tight end Pat Carter.
And Zach Thomas there to make the stop. I mean, Zach Thomas, what he did last week for Miami, he stuffed the run, both inside and sideline to sideline. He played the pass well, as he did right there against Carter, and then he played some special teams. They used to call it want to. You know, he's got a lot of want to in him.
George Hill, the defensive coordinator, was asked about his size. He says, all I know is he's an inch taller than Mike Singletary. And here's the handoff left side as Larry Centers and Cedric Smith were in the backfield.
Well, Larry Centers supposed to be the featured receiver on this team. He only has two rushing attempts tonight. But this year, for the first time, he's on the field on all downs. It was just a third down back before. But he feels he can have a much better impact for this Cardinal team by being a runner, a blocker, but in particular, still that third down receiver.
And it's 3rd and 1 right now. 101 receptions in 95, and he made the Pro Bowl for the first time. 3rd and 1. Yeah, a little misdirection of the left side, and that's not going to be enough for the first. Cedric Smith got the carry. I wonder now, down 21-0. Do you roll the dice and go for the first, or do you try and punt with your special teams not playing well?
You know, particularly because your special teams have played so poorly thus far, I think you have to go for it. I mean, they should ask for a measurement. I think they're going to get one. I mean, Vern, the thing about this franchise, so many teams in the NFL, I mean, this Miami team now, you know, the Cowboys have done it. The Green Bay turned themselves and reformulated themselves, turned themselves around, and yet the Cardinals have not been able to do that. And I think they have that much to go. I think you need stability in the head coach, and I think that they haven't had that. This is Vince Tobin's first year. And at quarterback and in the ownership. They've had it in the ownership, but not at the head coach and not at the quarterback position.
They will go for it. This is a team that does not have a great history of fourth down conversions.
Yeah, 15% last a year ago. And all this negative stuff, Vern, this is what they're trying to put behind them. But until they do it, until they start converting, until they start winning, all that negative stuff about last year in the past keeps coming back.
4th in the yard. Down 21 zip. Second effort. He got it.
Yeah.
He got it. He gets a really good spot.
Very, very generous mark there. But good second effort run by Larry Centers.
Guy's obviously got a second home in the valley.
As Boomer does.
Yes.
Yeah. That's one of the reasons he liked coming here. Again, we talked about Jabbar with a determined run earlier, and on 4th and 1, you better be determined. Joe Wolf, the right tackle, kind of gets sandwiched, kind of hugs along there. Redmond, number 60, trying to give him some help, trying to pull him over for the first down.
That's easy for us to say, but good for Vince Tobin.
Yeah. You're right, 21 down at home. You got to make something happen.
Sweep to the right side. McElroy out to the 47-yard line.
And you can't let this game really get out of hand. Down by 21. You're mixing in some runs here with McElroy. But Boomer Esiason still needs to get the ball downfield to his wide receivers, and particularly Rob Moore and Frank Sanders, who are good after the catch.
Interim coach with the Bears. He was there with Ditka for many, many years. Esiason has this one batted. Looked like Steve Entman might have gotten it. I'm not sure. 94.
Vince Tobin, I mean, he has succeeded Buddy Ryan twice in his career now. Get your hands up. It is Entman. He started this ball game tonight. Everyone knows about the kind of comeback he has had. He is not the player he was when he came out as the #1 draft pick, but he is a solid guy who rotates in at defensive tackle for him.
3rd and 5. Blitz. Esiason, crossing pattern. First down, Larry Centers. He's terrific on third downs.
He catches a lot of third down passes, and this guy is a weapon on those 3rd and 5s. And Esiason did a very good job of hanging in the pocket. You see what he did last week on 3rd down. Pretty good inside rush. Esiason confident in the pocket, and he's matched up against Louis Oliver, a strong safety, who had a big game last week.
Drive stays alive. Thomas is blitzing. Esiason gets protection, throws it into double coverage, and it's intercepted in the end zone. Terrell Buckley brings it out. Still running, goes right. And Buckley, who has been given new life since coming from Green Bay, gets his 2nd pick of the season, and he brings it all the way to the 30.
It was like fielding a punt and a ball that Esiason should not have thrown, and he knows it. I mean, you convert on 4th and 1. You're down by 21. Yeah, you're trying to make something happen. There was double coverage back there. There was a safety and a corner. I think the Atkins was the safety. The corner is Buckley. Fields it like a punt, and then he brings it out, and the Dolphins once again have pretty good field position. This is a good Dolphin defense the first 2 weeks of the year.
21-0. Dolphins get the ball back, and Irving Spikes, who replaces Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in the backfield, gets the carry for the first time in '96. Missed last week's game with a hamstring injury. Was on the inactive list. Had a battle with Abdul-Jabbar that went down to the last game for the starting spot. And it was because of his injury in part that Abdul-Jabbar got the start last week. There was a flag in the play.
Base, number 69 offense, 10-yard penalty, repeat first down.
Keith Sims.
That's that new rule. And Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, terrific start a week ago. But, you know, for a rookie, it's exciting to have a start like that. But a 16-game season, it is a grind. And this is something you have to do week in, week out. And Keith Sims, who that penalty was on, has some really ugly shoes. I mean, those are the ones you do the nursing rounds with, you know. he wins that award.
First down and 20 on the graveyard shift. Blitz is coming. Marino is caught and dropped, and a flag is down.
As old Simeon Rice, number 79, their #1 draft pick out of Illinois. 2nd time he's gotten his big old long arms around Dan Marino. I mean, that's a heck of a matchup of long arms holding against Miami. But Simeon Rice, number 79, and Richmond Webb with his long arms, I mean, they could be in different counties and still have their hands on one another. But this is a guy that takes good angles to the quarterback. He's got great speed, Simeon Rice, and with the long arms, even if he doesn't get there all the time, he's still going to disrupt a lot of plays with those arms. From Iowa? Excuse me. No, he is from Illinois.
He's from Illinois.
Yeah, I got that right. He is from Illinois.
I knew you knew.
With Kevin Hardy, his teammate now with Jacksonville.
And make sure you get a
2nd and 27.
What do you call Vern?
Draw. Of course, I'd call him draw.
You always call the draw. Folks, we watch tapes every week of both teams that we do, and we get in the film room, and every time Vern wants to call the draw play. And this guy, Dan Marino, once again off to a good start, and he had a good start last week, unusual, but tonight you see a lot of different kinds of play from him. There's a quick release. That's for the first down. Here he's going to look away, look people off of a play action fake, and then he scans the field. I mean, guys have a feel for the game and a sense of where people are, where the rush is. And the thing about Dan Marino, to me, one of those things, it's, you know, Elway and Steve Young, you never know where they're going to end up. You always know where Dan Marino is going to be, but you never seem to bother him or sack him.
Do you have a sense, though, that his career path is in a descending pattern while the Dolphins are trying to get back, and he might miss the opportunity to win the Super Bowl?
Not this year, but Jimmy Johnson early on said it was going to take 3 years. I think he's amended that to say we want to do it this year. And if they keep playing like this and they become two-dimensional, they will be a force in the playoffs. But as you and I both know, it is a marathon kind of year, and injuries determine mostly who makes the playoffs.
2nd and 27, 21-0 Miami. shovel pass. Irving Spikes. Every time I see the play, I think of two names: Cactus Jack Gardner, the coach at Utah, and my old colleague Lee Grosscup. Cupper has gotten his name mentioned more often on national telecasts on this play than anybody. Because back when we were all youngsters, he used to run this play at Utah. Oh, Lee Grosscup.
Well, didn't Cactus Jack also coach at UC Santa Barbara for a while too?
I believe so.
Well, it's a good play. You know, it's like one of those thruns, half throw, half run.
Right. It's a hybrid.
It's a hybrid, a thrun.
I've learned that from you. 3rd and 20. Irving spikes in the handoff. It'll be 4th down, and the Cardinal defense holds. Now they need something on the board before halftime. Yeah,
and when you have a 21-0 lead and your defense has played doggone well in the first half, that's not a bad call. You know, if you're home and the game's tied or you're losing, you get booed for that draw on 3rd and forever. But when your defense is playing well with that kind of lead, you punt it away.
Jimmy Johnson brought his team in. 5-hour flight from Miami, their first visit here. Took them out to watch the Tyson play. High snap, but not much pressure coming from the Cardinals, and a fair catch called at the 38-yard line. Jimmy Johnson said this is a business trip. He's instituted a dress code, and they come out to play in the desert, and they come into some heat.
Yeah, and it's what, 25-pound bags of ice, and it's kind of a dual purpose, Vern. Not only they keep everybody cool, but they can serve cocktails for 30 after the game. You know. There's Bernie Kosar staying cool. We got ice everywhere and cold drinks.
Rob Moore juggling it, incomplete.
Well, Boomer and Rob Moore have been just off about 4 times thus far tonight. A couple of high balls, twice thrown just a little bit too wide for him, and this is another one of those. And when you're battling back from a 21-0 lead, the catches and throws you have to make. He was open, just led him too much outside.
2nd and 10. Draw play. Draw play.
Your favorite.
It's an excellent play. Well designed and executed. McElroy played collegiately for R.C. Slocum at Texas A&M and from Beaumont, Texas. Leland said he played wearing number 34 in both high school and college because he admired Walter Payton growing up. 34 is worn by a veteran on the Cardinals, Terry Hogue. McElroy not inclined to try and negotiate to purchase the number. Esiason, Larry centers on 3rd down. That's short of the 1st down, and I believe they'll punt this one.
You know, Larry Sanders catches a lot of 3rd down passes, but a year ago, a lot of them didn't go for 1st downs. You know, remember, he caught a whole bunch of them. And the thing is, he can be a tremendous weapon. But would you see what happened? 33 receptions, more than anybody on 3rd down a year ago. But then how many for 1st down receptions? Just what percentage? Only 39%. Look at Brett Perriman. All 32 of his 3rd down catches went for 1st downs.
Feagles, fair catch. McDuffie. And the fair catch is made at the 10-yard line, so Dan Marino and the Dolphins head back on the field. Coming up on the Fruit of the Loom halftime report, Vince Cellini will have no-huddle highlights from all of today's action, and Mark May and Randall Cunningham will add their analysis coming up at halftime on the Fruit of the Loom halftime report.
You know, here in the Southwest, after dinner last night, I saw on the menu they served maize. So can you tell me the difference between corn and maize?
No, I can't.
I don't know.
I didn't know this was going to be a pop quiz.
I didn't. Well, it's stumped the play-by-play. I don't know what the difference between corn and maize is.
And you realize that one of the rules by which we conduct these podcasts, you're not allowed to ask a question for which you do not have the answer.
Give me a penalty.
You're a lawyer. You ought to know that stuff. Here's Irving Spikes. Maize and corn.
The difference.
In its distilled form? Is that what you're asking?
Just a simple answer.
And you're assuming that I might know.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm filibustering here, obviously. Rowe.
It's a hold against Miami, and tell you, when you're running the ball well, which Miami did last week, they're starting to run the ball better tonight.
Holding, number 76 on the offense. Penalized half the distance to the goal. First down.
The Dolphins, when they got the running game going, they're going to run their left side against over on Richmond Webb and Keith Sims' side. You know, they have a tendency to do that, but tendency sometimes can be good because you're successful. And when you run behind Richmond Webb and Keith Sims on that left side, you're going to have some pretty good success.
First and 15, 2:34 remaining before halftime. Irving spikes, breaks out of one tackle, but runs right into another. Eric Hill, number 58, was there.
I really believe the Cardinals have a chance of winning this football game as Eric Hill is signaling for a timeout. They're going to have to stop the Dolphins here, force a punt, and give themselves a chance to score a touchdown, not a field goal, before halftime. Did he call signal for a timeout?
He signaled for a timeout, and at least 6 seconds ran off the clock.
Well, it's still going. It went down to 2, but he did call it.
Eric Hill clearly indicated he wanted a timeout.
And he called it a good, and then they put 4 seconds back on.
He called it at 2:11.
You really are keeping track of these things, aren't you?
And introduces you to many of our Arizona athletes who competed in the Olympics.
Now time called with 2:04. That's all he gets back.
So there have been some incredible 2-minute quarterbacks. That's one of them right there. You know, you always think about Johnny Unitas and Joe Namath and Joe Montana, of course, John Elway, whom we'll see next week. But this guy has been unbelievable in the fourth quarter in particular.
You know, they're running the ball more today than they did last week. Remember that stat that became so popular back in the 70s when the Cowboys had Tony Dorsett? The Cowboys are 39-1 when Tony Dorsett runs for 100 yards or more. I love the stat that they keep now with Marino. The Dolphins are 9-15 when Dan Marino does not score a touchdown, throw a touchdown pass. They won last week. One of the very few times that they've won when he has not thrown a touchdown pass. He has won tonight. Second and 12. Spikes, comes left. Oh, boy, big play.
That's a penalty, and it should be, on Matt Darby. Out of bounds, he body slams Irving Spikes. Clearly out of bounds. You know, Vern, we have two teams, both trying to reformulate themselves. You know, Jimmy Johnson comes in with the Miami Dolphins, Vince Tobin with the Phoenix Cardinals, and it really looks like after just about a half, Miami is beginning to reformulate itself. A different Dolphin team last week.
Unnecessary roughness on number 40.
And again tonight, in the critical situations, when the Cardinals knew they were going to run the football, Irving Spikes picks up the first down. Got a great block from Richmond Webb. And the continued determined run, and then the block by Lamar Thomas. These wide receivers of the Dolphins blocked very well. It was O.J. McDuffie last week. Lamar Thomas there. Also scored a touchdown, and there at the end of the play you see the infraction.
Now at the 2-minute warning, the Dolphins find themselves with a fresh set of downs, and they move the ball out to the 42-yard line. Miami leads it 21-0. Warning in the second week of the season from Mesa, Arizona, Sun Devil Stadium. The Miami Dolphins leading Arizona 21-0, and one of the world's most enduring symbols, the Goodyear Blimp Eagle, based in Carson, California, providing these beautiful aerial pictures. 1996 marks the 71st consecutive year that a Goodyear blimp has flown over a major sporting event.
Wow. Can you name them all?
Been to most of them. First down and 10, 21-0. Marino almost dropped, and he does get rid of it.
Yeah, he's an almost quarterback.
Yeah.
You almost get him, you almost intercept him, you almost, sack him, but you don't. And we talked about him needing as little space as any quarterback in the league. Another example of it. And just when you think you're going to get him for a sack, he avoids it. And offensive linemen love that. But those are the kind of plays where defensive linemen rolling in your legs, you always worry about your quarterback getting injured.
Second down and 10, Miami. Marino has thrown for one. Abdul-Jabbar has run for two. Thus the 21 Miami points. Hand off to Spikes. Goes right, slips a tackle, gets 3 yards out to the 43.
Remember, two of Miami's touchdowns were set up by poor special teams plays and miscues by the Cardinals.
Kind of surprised Arizona has not chosen to stop the clock here.
Yeah, absolutely. On third down, they have 2 timeouts remaining.
Right.
Yeah, they should be stopping the clock. Force a punt. That's a time I believe you call a timeout. You know, you play good third down defense, force a punt, and hope you can do something with the ball.
Yeah. 3rd and 10. This time Marino has time. Incomplete. So with 65 seconds to go in the half, Jordan unable to make the grab, and the Dolphins will be forced to punt. There's Al Everest, the special teams coach of the Cardinals. Been a long night for his bunch tonight.
Rough evening.
John Kidd in the punt for Miami.
Dowdell is back to return the punt, and John Kidd will punt it.
And here's a time maybe where special teams can turn it around by giving Dowdell a chance to make a nice return.
Frank Wainwright sends it back. Nice and high and long. Dowdell gets a good block. He got a terrific block on the corner from Tito Paul.
Yeah, that was a great block. I mean, it looked like they were going to have a chance to really get something going there. And Tito Paul did his part. But they're going to have to go 85 yards to make something happen. Still have 2 timeouts. Watch number 27 in the white jersey. Right there. It wasn't a clip. Got his head out in front. With good coverage there by the whole Dolphin special teams.
And the story of the first half, though, here's Arizona backed up miles from the end zone.
Just had awful field position, whereas Miami's had superb field position virtually the whole first half.
Deep left side, incomplete. Dowdell, the intended receiver.
Their timing is off tonight. You have a new quarterback playing with some new receivers, although he did play with Rob Moore in New York for a while, but it just hasn't been there tonight, Vern. The timing and the accuracy is just not there so far.
48 seconds to go before halftime. Handoff, Larry Centers. Another of the kids who's a product of the Texas high school system. This time, Zach Thomas from Pampa, Texas, tackles Larry Centers from Tatum, Texas. You know where Tatum is.
You're probably one of those guys that know those schools' nicknames.
Hey, the Pampa Harvesters.
The Pampa?
Yeah. The Pampa Harvesters. What was your high school nickname?
We were the Lancers.
The Lancers?
The Lancers, yeah.
That's got a touch of class.
Oh, yeah. The Harvesters, they were good in October.
Yeah. How about the Itasca Wampus Cats? You like that one? Join us next Sunday here on TNT for more of this frivolity. Tampa Bay takes on Denver at Mile High Stadium. John Elway in his 14th year, class of '83.
Yeah.
Ring a bell? They're up 2-0. And the Broncos in week 3 action take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Sunday at 8 o'clock Eastern, the NFL on TNT.
Well, you know, the Bronco defense looks like they're for real. Played great the first week, played solidly today, and you know, Mike Shanahan's got that offense going pretty good.
21-zip with 37 seconds to go before halftime. 3rd and 5. Almost picked off. Tipped at the 30 by Anthony Edwards.
So, you know, there's some hard hitting going on out there, Vern, and sometimes guys lose a lot of things, including numbers. This is Bernie Parmalee, who has lost his 0, if you will. Had a little safety pin there, a little adjustment being done there on the sidelines.
You know, 2 things you never want to have happen. You never want to lose your S, and you never want to lose your 0. And the fair catch is made by O.J. McDuffie. Anthony Edwards down to cover.
Well, Miami, once again, great field position, 26 seconds remaining. And Miami has one timeout still left to go. And they have a situation where with Dan Marino, you always have a chance at least to get into field goal position.
First and 10 at the 39. McPhail, the third down back, is a late arrival in the huddle. He replaces Irving Spikes. Jarris McPhail, another of those rookies. He's from East Carolina, had a big role, is expected to have a big role for the Dolphins this year. First and 10 out of the shotgun. Deep right side. Oh, he has him open. Oh, man. Charles Jordan whips Tito Paul.
And he's hurt. He hurt his left knee. And Charles Jordan is a guy why Fred Barnett is mending, can be their deep threat. Number 88 for the Dolphins. Again, you see Marino look away. He looked to his left first, then gave him a chance. Came down awkwardly. Good adjustment in the air. You know, his knee, you see his left knee, came down very awkwardly.
That looked like a hyperextension.
Yeah. But the ability to adjust to the ball when it's in the air. I mean, the great receivers do. He didn't catch it with his hands particularly well. Stuck in between the 8s on his jersey. But that's a good catch. And also why Marino is so special in the latter parts of each half. And why his team has so much confidence. One team struggling desperately for confidence. The other, because of that man and Jimmy Johnson, incredibly confident.
Well, they've wasted their last timeout. Not wasted. They have used their last timeout effectively. And after that 43-yard pass, Jimmy Johnson's bunch has a first down at the 18-yard line.
Yeah, and I think you can take a couple shots into the end zone. Maybe 2 shots into the end zone. If you don't get it, kick a field goal.
McDuffie and Lamar Thomas go wide to the right side. Scott Miller and Jordan to the left. Marino looks right all the way. Tito Paul is defending deep in the end zone, and the pass is overthrown for Lamar Thomas.
Yeah, Tito Paul is doing his job. Once in the special team, that time in the end zone. Number 27, the nickelback on Lamar Thomas. First he glances in at Marino, then watches the receivers, then sees the ball. I mean, Tito Paul played that as well as you can play it. From quarterback to receiver to ball.
Well, Miami's going to go for the field goal now.
You know, in 10 seconds they have one more chance. But
yeah. Joe Nedney from San Jose State took the place of Pete Stoyanovich and hammers it home. So the Dolphins tack on 3. And the lead is up to 24. 36-yard field goal.
You know, Nedney in college had a 60-yard field goal his sophomore year at San Jose State. So he's got a pretty good leg on. But again, a surprise move by Jimmy Johnson, letting Stoyanovich go. You know, he had a lot of guys, a lot of key players leave this team, but still went with youth. 10 rookies made his ball club. 4 start, all contributed. You know, he had a rookie last week who was leading rusher. He had a rookie who was his leading tackler. Daryl Gardner made a sack, made some tackles. The rookie is a leading receiver. He's an unconventional coach in that he doesn't believe youth necessarily makes a lot of mistakes. You can win with young guys, and he's done it his entire coaching career.
Jimmy Johnson, of course, replaced Don Shula. And on Thursday night, the National Football League and the Dolphins will salute Don Shula. A tribute to a legend is going to be held at the Broward County Convention Center, and a number of luminaries from around the league will be there to salute Don. Here's a squib kick taken at the 30-yard line. Cedric Smith, number 45, out to the 44-yard line.
There was an ugly first half for the Cardinals, Vern, and I think first things first, they need to get their special teams squared away. And once you do that, their special teams, I think, cost them 2 touchdowns.
Thus far, this one looks like that fight that Jimmy Johnson took his team to see last night. Tyson over Selden in 1:49. Miami leads the Arizona Cardinals 24-0. Their first visit ever to take on the Cardinals. Vern Lundquist along with Pat Hayden. And in a circumstance like this, you got to talk, I think, about the defense of Miami.
Miami, I'm surprised at this score at halftime, but I think anytime you can shut a team out, you're doing something right. I think the middle linebacker in particular, Zach Thomas for the Dolphins, as he played so well last week, continues to play well. Did a lot of different things in this first half. And I think, you know, he's been very good in the passing game, and that's how he first got the starting job. Started as a nickel coverage guy. They made so many plays like this during the preseason in the running game that Jimmy Johnson told Jack Del Rio, who was going to be his guy, hey, you are my starting middle linebacker on every down. And the reason they're 24-0, it's a lot of it's Zach Thomas. And look at this, the average start, the field position. Miami has started the ball in Arizona territory on their 44-yard line. You see where Arizona has started on their own 18, and you know, special teams really set up 2 Miami scores. Have you seen anything, if you're a Cardinal fan, that's correctable at halftime? Well, you know, the easiest thing you ought to be able to correct is the snap from the center to the punter, and you know, those kind of things you can do. Offensively, they've been out of rhythm throwing the ball, and there's some you know, Cardinal fans. Another interesting garb. But yeah, I think the correctable part is, it really comes to the special teams part. But they have not played well offensively, particularly throwing the ball. And you know, when you're down 24-0, the running game has already disappeared. Can't run the ball.
Jeff Fiegels had 1 block, the first time he's had a punt block since 1991, only 4 in his career, and that kind of set the tone early on. It really did. And you don't see many block punts in professional football in the NFL anymore. I think there was only 4 last year, all of last year. And it really was started by a tall snap, a high snap by, there's Al Everett, the special teams coach, started by Aaron Graham, the rookie long snapper. It was a high snap, and that was really set the tone for this entire first half for their special teams. Well, we get set for the start of the third quarter, 24-0 Miami. And the Cardinals will get the ball to open this third quarter. McElroy, one of his specialties is this task, returning kicks at Texas A&M. A career average of 36 yards. And we've got a new quarterback now. Boomer Esiason might be through for the night, and Kent Graham, who played for Jim Fossil when Fossil was an offensive coordinator with the New York Giants. Yeah, and Jim Fossil said to us this week that Kent Graham is a guy that we feel, it came close in the preseason, to feel they can win for us. Had 4 starts as a Giant a couple of years ago, played in Detroit last season. At one time, an 8th-round draft pick by the Giants, battled Dave Brown for a starting spot. Wow. Hands it off to LaShawn Johnson. So somebody got hit there, or somebody made that tackle there, and that didn't look like a 24-0 lead hit. I think it was Dwight Hollier. Great, so they start a new backfield tonight. There's Dwight Hollier. Okay, these linebackers, all of them, Zach Thomas, Hollier, and Singleton, have played well. There's number 50. I mean, you can always tell it's a good hit when the defensive back, the offensive running back bounces backwards, and that's what happened to Johnson right there. Second down and 9. Graham back to throw. Zach Thomas coming in. They complete the pass over the middle, and they pick up a first down. Frank Sanders to the 45. So big opportunity here for Kent Graham. Absolutely. And Vince Tobin, trying to get this thing turned around, has to make decisions like this. But I have to admit, I am very surprised to see Boomer Esiason on the sideline. And when you talk about confidence, this guy is remarkably confident what this team needs. He did not play well in the first half. And I think they lost the first game. They're probably going to lose this one. Why not give Kent Graham a chance? Play action. Thomas is coming. That one is caught by Rob Moore, and he's got some room. Gets a couple of blocks to the 24-yard line. That was a frozen rope thrown by Kent Graham. That ball had some velocity on it. Yeah, LaShawn Johnson, who got stuffed a moment ago on the run, number 32. Watch the block the number 32 for the Cardinals makes on Zach Thomas. You got a blitzing linebacker? No, you're not getting near my quarterback. And just a very accurate and hard throw by Kent Graham. And if you throw it hard and accurately, it gives Rob Moore a chance to run with the ball after the catch. Kent Graham 2 for 2 for 44. Deepest penetration by the Cardinals tonight. Play action. Graham deep right side to the corner for Johnson. Incomplete. He was stumbling as he reached the goal line. Out of balance. Couldn't hang on.
I'll tell you another thing. Kent Graham took a shot in the smacker there.
Where was that?
In the old smacker, right in the old chin. When we talk about that fight last night, this guy doesn't have a glass chin.
That is a harder shot than Selden took last night.
But you know that's a chance for a touchdown. If LaShawn Johnson is not, and he knows it, is not stumbling around there, that's 6 points for the Cardinals, and they have new life.
2nd and 10. Kent Graham fakes the pitch into the flat, caught. Sanders at the 1-yard line.
Kent Graham is throwing the ball with velocity and accuracy like Dan Marino did in the first half. And when a quarterback throws it with the accuracy and that hard, all your receivers have a chance to do something with it. I mean, again, under duress off his back foot, Trace Armstrong is in his face, throws the ball out in front of Sanders so he can run out and catch it and still continue the move. And he nearly gets in the end zone.
That was a nifty little play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kent Graham in his 5th year came as a free agent from Detroit. He didn't play much there last year. Oscar McBride in motion. They hand it off right side to Cedric Smith, and he doesn't get anything.
Already on this one drive, Kent Graham has thrown for more yards than Boomer Esiason did in the first half. Graham has thrown for 68 yards in this 3rd quarter, where Boomer threw for 57 in the first half. So, I mean, they may have found something here in Kent Graham.
And, you know, we chatted with Jim Fossil, the offensive coordinator, earlier in the week. He said, I'm very comfortable with Kent Graham as my backup quarterback. And now Jim Fossil and Vince Tobin have given him a chance to infuse this team with some kind of enthusiasm here in the 3rd quarter. Play action. Off his back foot. Touchdown. Cedric Smith from Kent Graham.
That's a heck of a drive by that guy, Kent Graham. And that drive was all Kent Graham. And even though the receivers did something with the ball after the catch, he gave them a chance to do that. So although I'm surprised that Boomer Esiason's on the sideline, boy, that was the right switch by Vince Tobin and Jim Fossil. And he's got to kill that guy, one of the most competitive guys in the league.
Greg Davis on for the extra point. Jeff Fiegels will hold. Aaron Graham will snap it. Good. At 6'5" and 240 pounds, Kent Graham with a play action pass, and he finds Cedric Smith, who once blocked for Emmitt Smith at the University of Florida. Cardinals are on the board. Boomer Esiason, 35 years of age, looks on. He's given way to Kent Graham, and Graham ignited the Cardinals. A young man who started his collegiate career at Notre Dame as a backup to Tony Rice. Transferred to Ohio State. He started 10 of 12 games as a senior. He's talking with Jim Fossil, and I can remember when they were together at New York, Fossil very high on him there. Here's the kickoff taken by Jordan. Heads right, Tito Paul strings him out. And then an ankle tackle.
Take another look at the touchdown, Vern. And, you know, Kent Graham threw some really hard, accurate throws, but this throw required some touch and some finesse. And so he's shown us a couple different kind of throws, and that was it. And now, and Boomer Esiason, again, you like to see that from a guy in your team that I know it's a disappointing moment for him, but now flip it over. He's happy with the Cardinal defense. And look at the numbers he's at. The Cardinal defense has a chance to really get the Cardinals back in the game right now. They need a 3-and-out badly.
24-7. Jabbar with room to the right. Fumble! I believe the Cardinals have it.
My. Aeneas Williams. And just when we said the Cardinal defense needs to make it happen, a 3-and-out, they've even taken a step better. They'll create a turnover. A year ago, This defense of the Cardinals created a lot of turnovers, but they didn't turn them into scores. Here's Jabbar bouncing it out outside. He's got the ball secured. It's just a great hit by Brett Alexander. He comes loose, and then the other corner, Aeneas Williams, makes the recovery.
That's the first turnover of the night. Dave McGinnis, in his first year as a defensive coordinator, linebacker coach with Vince Tobin at Chicago. He was the first hire by Vince Tobin. And the first Miami turnover, a first down at the 29. That's Sanders in motion. Play action. Sanders with the catch.
You know, Vern, we were talking about the Cardinals from a year ago. And again, they're trying to get away from everything from last year, as you well know. You see how many turnovers they had. They forced 42 turnovers last year, but they ranked 6th. They only turned those into 113 points. You know, a new era, new head coach, perhaps a new quarterback now for the Cardinals. This is when they have to be a lot more opportunistic and turn that turnover into a touchdown.
They'll throw it again. Pat Carter, the tight end, he struggles and may have enough yardage to move the chain again.
Yeah, Kent Graham has a live arm, and I remember him coming out of high school, Vern. He was a very highly recruited high school player, went to Notre Dame. Got frustrated because he played behind Tony Rice there and transferred to Ohio State, where he had a solid senior season. And Jim Fossil, I think he's one of those, diamond in the rough types. You give him a chance, and that guy can coach quarterbacks. Jim Fossil can coach young quarterbacks doggone well.
And old quarterbacks.
And old quarterbacks, that's right. Did it with John Elway.
Did a pretty good job. Yeah. First and 10. 24-7, Miami leads it. Play fake into the flat for Sanders. Well, he hasn't dropped any tonight. He's been an integral part of the offense for the Cardinals, has Frank Sanders. Zach Thomas, number 54, makes the tackle.
We talk so much about Dan Marino's quick release, and what we've seen from Kent Graham is a quick release and a strong arm. I mean, you know, the linebacker's his. He comes unblocked. And what can a quarterback do? You got to get rid of the ball. And his size helps him. At 6'5", he still was able to get that ball around Chris Singleton.
On second down, LaShawn Johnson bounces off a tackle as he reaches the 10-yard line. And that'll give Arizona a third and probably 2 when they spot the ball.
Yeah, they really need to be thinking touchdown, and perhaps even 2 plays to pick up these remaining 2.5, 3 yards. And Jimmy Johnson's got to be thinking about, hey, my defense has got to strip the ball carrier or strip the receiver. Create your own turnover.
Anthony Redmond, right guard. Mike Devlin is the center. 3rd and 2. Cedric Smith. I don't think he got enough for the first down.
I think he's going to be short, but I think this is another one of those. Remember, Vince Tobin went for it in the first half on 4th down. They converted, but then turned the ball over in an interception.
Yep, they're going to go for it. Field goal unit stays on the Arizona sideline. They will bring the chain out to check, but the spot appears to be a bit short. And this crowd that found something to roar for gets quiet for the moment.
You know, Jim Fossil has some confidence in Ken Graham. It's called 8 pass plays and 2 runs.
Hey, come on! Field goal!
That's not a gimme.
Yeah, well, they're calling field goal.
Yeah.
They're calling field goal.
That had a slight break to the left. I didn't like that punt.
Uh-huh. Now, they convert the field goal and it puts them down by 14, but boy, you're still worried right now with the way your special teams ended the first half. So things are going well and right for the Cardinals right now.
Eagles will hold, and Greg Davis will try to pull the Cardinals within 14, which he has done. So Arizona is able to convert the first Miami turnover of the night into 3 points. They've scored 10 in the second half. They're down 24-10.
I came here to do one thing, win another one. Pro Player jackets come in home colors of all 30 NFL teams and reverse to the away colors. That's right, guys. We're going to do things my way now. Get them at Foot Locker, the place where it all begins. The Pro Player reversible jacket. Reverse it.
This telecast is presented by authority of the National Football League, and it is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of the Arizona Cardinals and the National Football League is prohibited.
Darkness has descended over the valley, and we are here for the Miami-Arizona game, 24-10, 7:36.
And you remember last week we had a big turnaround in momentum. If the Cardinals right now get good coverage and pin Miami back and get a 3 and out, we're going to have a similar momentum change.
Charles Jordan at the 1 off the Davis kick. Looked like he had some room for the moment, but then knocked down at the 21. Zach Thomas, middle linebacker, also a key participant in special teams. Back in a moment.
Time now for the Isuzu Play of the Day, and it involves Eddie George of the Houston Oilers against the Jacksonville Jaguars. George was stopped but then broke free and could go. Chewing up yards, 76 in fact, before he's dragged down. He had 143 yards on the day to the Heisman Trophy winner, but that run, our practically amazing Isuzu Play of the Day.
7:26 to go, third quarter here. Gosh, I got pumped up watching it.
I tell you, that was an incredibly amazing play. 76 yards. Remember Steve Bono?
No, it was practically amazing.
No, I thought it was more than practically amazing. But remember 76 yards against his Cardinal defense, Steve Bono, a year ago?
Yes, indeed. Handoff, left side.
Oh, big hole. Boy.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar almost lost his footing back at the 22, but manages to stay upright and move it out to the 30. Trying to become one of only 8 running backs in NFL history to rush for 100 yards in each of their first 2 games. But he's got a formidable task if he's going to get there tonight. He's got 33 yards, matching his uniform number.
If he's going to get there, he's going to have to run behind the guy with the ugly shoes, Keith Sims and Richmond Webb. You run that left side, you have a better chance of gaining 100 yards.
2nd and 2, back split, 24-10. Jabbar goes right. Bounces outside. Jameer Miller gets him, but not before he got the first down.
The thing about Jimmy Johnson, Byrne, he is patient with the run. In the National Football League, he gets up limping too. In the National Football League, most coaches don't have the patience to continue to run because you're going to have a lot of zero gains and 2-yard gains, and he bounces it outside here. He came up limping at the end of this run. He got his ankle, it looked like, fallen on by Jameer Miller. But Jimmy Johnson will continue to run the ball. He did it in Dallas, he did it at Miami, and he did it last week.
1st and 10, and Irving Spikes has taken Jabbar's place. Backs are split. How about that block by Pritchard on that last play? Here's Spikes coming left. That's another block from Pritchard, Stanley Pritchard from South Carolina. And Abdul-Jabbar on the sideline.
You know, we've seen determined runs by Jabbar in the first half, patient runs, disciplined runs. As we said, you don't see a lot of that from rookie running backs.
Jimmy Johnson talking last night about how he's still uncertain what he has with him. Said thus far, he's a better player than he is a practicer.
It always means something when a coach says that.
Yeah. 2nd down. Marino looks left. Has a man in the flat, wide open. That's Pritchard, the rookie fullback from South Carolina.
And that's his first catch. Last week he was their leading receiver with 77 yards. And good offenses, the fullback is more than just a complimentary player. The fullback is a feature player. And Jimmy Johnson and Gary Stevens, his offensive coordinator, have always featured the fullback. Did it at the University of Miami, did it at Dallas, and now he's doing it here.
Darryl Johnson at Dallas, Highsmith he was talking about, and Bratton at the University of Miami filled that role. 1st and 10 after the 13-yard gain. Spikes, huge hole. He's still loose. They finally caught up with him at the 16.
This is a heck of a 1-2 punch. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then his replacement, Irving Spikes. In the fullbacks block, Stanley Pritchett a moment ago caught a pass and a tremendous lead block on Eric Hill. Big hole by NFL standards, and then Spikes does a lot of that on his own, breaking tackles. And you can argue, hey, is that poor tackling a good runner? You know, did the fish get away, or blame the fisherman?
I really liked where you were going with that.
I don't know where I just kind of ended up there.
35-yard run. Spikes popped pretty good at the 12-yard line. You want to try and complete that thought?
I don't, you know, something where the guy loses a fish. Do you give the fish credit, or do you blame the fisherman?
Is this like the chicken and the egg analogy?
Corn and maize, I don't know.
By the way, rice is the corn of China. I learned that at halftime.
Oh, there you go. Swan blocked out of that play, and again, Keith Sims doing his job. Billy Milner had a fine block on that play. And just when you think the momentum's changing, well, Dan Marino and Irving Spikes seize the moment again.
2nd down and 6.
Oh. What a different Miami team from a year ago. A patient running team, a physical team, a team that scrunches up its nose a lot.
There's a malodorous something over there on the sideline. Time is called. As we get set to go back to play, take a look at tonight's GMC leaderboard, the longest streak out of the playoffs. The Cardinals, 20 years in a non-strike year. They played the Rams in 1975. They last won a playoff game in 1947.
Harry Truman.
Yep. Into the flat for Spikes. He fumbles at the goal line, but fumbles it out of bounds. And it will be spotted inside the 1.
It is fun watching these Miami Dolphin running backs, because I'll tell you, these guys, there's no quitting these guys, and they really are determined. We've seen it a couple times. Jabbar, first a good catch by Spikes. He's got it left hand reaching for the pylon. He may have gotten in there. They didn't give it to him, but it looked like he almost touched the pylon.
Johnson looks on. His team has bounced back now, and they've got a 1st and goal at the 1. Backs in the eye. Leaping touchdown, Irving Spikes.
Well, that was a heck of a drive, not just because they went the entire distance, but because they really needed it. Sign of a good team. You drive the ball when the other team's beginning to claw back in. And that was one beautiful drive. A lot of Irving Spikes, and mix in just enough of Dan Marino.
Irving Spikes in his 3rd year out of Northeast Louisiana. Joe Skipper, the running back coach, with congratulations. That is the 3rd rushing touchdown tonight for the Dolphins. And a player is down for the Cardinals. Looks like Terry Irving, number 56, but it also looks like he's going to be just fine.
A great offensive line surge by Miami. Watch the right side of the offensive line here, and in particular 79 Billy Milner, 77 Jeff Bucky. I mean, when your running back doesn't get touched until he's 3 yards in the end zone, you know your offensive line did a heck of a job.
Now Joe Nedney on for the extra point. John Kidd will hold it. The extra point is up and good. Dan Marino, now in his 14th season, came in with that heralded class of 1983. And what a contrast in the fortunes of these two teams. Dan Marino, an instant starter. Take a look at Marino on the right as you watch the number of quarterbacks who have started for the Cardinals in the years since. Hogaboo, Mantupa, Stan Gelbaugh, Chris Chandler started in a couple of years. Steve Berline spent some time here. Remember Jay Schrader in his short stint? Jim McMahon had a start a couple of years ago. Dave Craig was a starter for all 16 games. And through it all, as Boomer Esiason comes in this year, Dan Marino has been the man in Miami.
Maybe another starter next week in Kent Graham. But you know, Vernon, we talk about turning franchises around. You and I have talked about it a lot. You need stability in that position. If you're going to win in this league, you need stability at that quarterback position. And I think what they need from this guy right now, particularly if he doesn't start next week, is to help Kent Graham get ready. Because his teammates will notice how he acts and how he helps Kent Graham next week.
Here's the kick by Nedney. This one taken by Ryan Terry. And he manages to get it out to the 27-yard line. There's a fumble.
Yeah.
Who got it?
What a special teams night for the Cardinals. Oof.
Nightmare.
Thank you.
Al Everest and Jim Fossil on the sidelines. Arizona. How do they know?
Yeah. There's a lot of bodies down there.
Right. Kent Graham, 7 of 8 in the second half for 82 yards and a touchdown throw. He was one of the final cuts by the Giants, Dan Reeves, last year, then picked up by Detroit. But he did not. He was inactive the whole season. He was the third quarterback for the Lions.
You know, he's been one of those guys throughout his career, including his college career, that seems to be in the wrong place at the wrong time. You know, a lot of guys are in the right place at the right time. Wrong place, wrong time. But maybe this is just the opportunity he needed.
1st and 10, 31-10. Comes right, intended for Sanders. Terrell Buckley was defending up at the 40-yard line.
And one thing, he's got a strong enough arm, and you can see in his eyes, he looks very competitive. You can't hear the calls coming in. And, you know, Boomer Esiason had the same problem. Good size to Kent Graham. And he not only can see over people, I mean, I think a guy that big is able to take a lot of hits and withstand a lot of punishment.
2nd and 10. 31-10, Miami leads it, trying to go 2-0 on the season. Back split. Into the flat again. Frank Sanders, who grew up in the Fort Lauderdale area, makes the catch, and Zach Thomas is out there again, number 54.
Yeah, man, sideline to sideline.
He's a dynamite player, isn't he?
He really is, and he's a fun guy. Although when we met with him yesterday, remember he was wearing the ESPN T-shirt.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to remind him about those things.
Politically incorrect, and last week he said no, he didn't know who Nick Buonacani was. I'm sure he's been made aware this week.
Well, but nonetheless, whether he's wearing ESPN T-shirts or not, this guy's a heck of a player, and he's off to a heck of a start.
Terry Hogue. This one, left side, on a rope.
Man.
That had some zip.
Yeah, that's kind of fun to watch.
Rob
really
Moore and Calvin Jackson battling out there on the left side.
Not really fun to defend.
There's Calvin Jackson. He was a high school teammate of Frank Sanders back in the Fort Lauderdale area.
Frank Sanders was looking forward to get matched up with Calvin Jackson today.
There's Sanders reminiscing about his relationship with Calvin Jackson. Said they went back to the 12th grade, first played in Little League football, and Jackson won that game. Toss right. Rashawn Johnson fumble. Miami appears to have it. Zach Thomas caused it.
You know, he is everywhere. Sideline to sideline, rushing the passer, covering the receivers, tight ends and wide receivers.
This kid's living a dream,
yeah,
Matt.
Tackling guys by the boundary. What's the first thing you do? You know, you use your speed, you stop like a running back, you make the hit, you cause the fumble. And then you make the recovery. You know, that was really not a strip. Jimmy Johnson has that fumble strip drill every day in practice. That was a tremendous tackle by Zach Thomas. I mean, he may be 5'11" and 230 pounds, and that's why he was weighted to the 5th round, but that guy's playing like a #1 pick.
His mom and dad are here watching the game. They live in Pampa, Texas. His father, Steve, is a petroleum engineer. They made the trip down to Miami last week, and they're here in Arizona tonight. Marino, flag is down, so this one probably will come back.
You don't talk about football players being, you know, doing things cute. That was a cute little shuffle there by Dan Marino, you know? There he is. He should be proud. You know, you don't, Dan Marino is not Steve Young, he's not John Elway, but you bounce around, you step up, and you don't get to him. I mean, to me, one of those remarkable things about him, he doesn't get sacked even though he's not terribly mobile.
Repeat first down.
And it's because he knows what he's doing, and he still has enough mobility, and that little bounce step may be more dangerous than a scramble by Elway or Steve Young.
Penalty was on Eric Swan, and we haven't called his name much tonight.
Well, early in the game, he was a force when they were trying to run the ball at him.
Eric Swan, Vince Tobin signed him. They had to do some restructuring. This is a team with serious salary cap problems. They let Clyde Simmons go. They got Seth Joyner to agree to a reduced contract. They did get Swan, who was an unrestricted free agent, back under contract, as they did Leas Williams. Those were two of the goals that Tobin had. Here's Marino. Keith Byers makes the catch, and he had not caught one tonight. Keith Byers now has caught passes in 130 consecutive games. This is the 5th longest streak in NFL history.
And playing a new position, tight end for the Dolphins.
Art Monk, of course, retired with the reception list at 183. Largent behind him. Jerry Rice has a streak going at 161, and Byers now at 130. Second and 4. Spikes.
Well, when you can get to the perimeter, it means your tight ends and your tackles are blocking well. And several times tonight, the Dolphins running backs have gotten to the perimeter of that defense, and that was just one of them. There's Milner, who did a good job, and Richmond Webb has played fabulously tonight.
We're at the end of 3 in the desert. Back at Sun Devil Stadium, the start of the 4th, Miami up 31-10. You see Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, injured ankle, but eligible or able to return. In the meantime, Irving Spikes, who sat out last week, 77 yards, including a 35-yard scamper that provided nearly half of those yardage. And here's Spikes hit behind the line. Brent Alexander finally the one, and there's a fumble.
That wasn't a scamper. That 30, I don't know if you call a 35-yard run a scamper when you broke it about 6 tackles.
Well, how do you define?
That's a power run.
How do you define a scamper?
Well, a scamper is one of the things you kind of go out, the side, the end, the kind of the fringe, the perimeter, and you kind of scamper down the.
Don't forget.
Then you run out of bounds.
I watched you play for a lot of years.
Yeah, I didn't do much scampering either.
Well, that was my point. You were right with me. Second down and 10. I just wanted to see if you'd know one. Here's Marino. He's fairly unfamiliar with scampering as well.
But he's got the shuffle.
Call time. The Goodyear Blimp Eagle has been providing these aerial pictures. The Goodyear Blimp travels over 100,000 miles every year covering major sporting events. Our cameraman on the blimp, or in the blimp, he's not on it.
No, we hope not.
Is Glenn Hampton. Boy, there was a terrific college game played here last night. Arizona State outlasting Washington 45-42.
Look at these rushing yards. In the second half in particular, Miami 70, Arizona 0. Now, again, they are behind, so you're not going to run for a lot of yards.
And O.J. McDuffie was open. Marino looking at him now. It's kind of an unusual thing. The Washington Huskies coming down to play that game, and they wound up staying at the same hotel as did the Dolphins. Well, here's Steve Emtman, who was a wonderful performer for the Huskies for his years in Seattle. He walked in last night, thought he was regressing. There was all this purple around him and
mauve.
Yeah, mauve. Now you've promised me tonight you're going to give me the difference between mauve and taupe.
I don't know taupe. I know mauve. But you know.
Wait a minute. You're asking me corn and maize, and you're not going to.
Next week I'll have the answer. I do know mauve. With all those knee injuries, he probably wishes he could go back to college for one more year and come out again.
3rd and 10. Marino across the middle. He's all wide open. A flag is down.
That'll be roughing the passer.
Yep.
But again, Marino with the quick release can kill defensive backs and frustrate defensive linemen. He looked like he was going to get sacked here, and then he finds a way to get the ball off to McPhail. And then I think it was Eric Swan, number 98, who hit him, and they called it right there. But I mean, it is terribly frustrating playing against him. Again, they're going to call that against most quarterbacks, but certainly against Marino.
Now the penalty announced by Howard Rowe, the referee. We're having some problems with reverberation on the referee's mic tonight.
I hate when that happens.
Don't you?
Those reverberations.
Yeah.
Every good quarterback, and it looked like Marino does, knows the referee's first name. You always want to address him on a first name basis. And Marino did there.
First and goal, Dan Marino. 31-10. Eric Swan. And here come Marino and the Dolphins. Abdul-Jabbar stays on the bench. Pritchett and Spikes in the backfield. This is McDuffie in motion. The handoff to Spikes. And he gets to the 5-yard line.
You see Marino's eyes there. You talk about milking the clock. I mean, he's got a 31-10 lead. He's looking right up at the game clock to see how many seconds he has left before he has to snap the ball, and he's getting it snapped with about 1 second remaining. He's going to beat you with his arm. Sometimes he beats you with a little shuffle at his feet, and he always can beat you with his mind.
And the Dolphins have a second and goal.
It's a nice ring Jimmy's got.
His new, oh yes, it is a nice ring. Nice watch. Nice watch. Here's Marino into the end zone. A battle, and it's broken up by Ronnie Bradford, number 23. Had a defensive adjustment. Aeneas Williams and Bradford in the corners now. Alexander has gone back to the free safety spot in place of Terry Hogue.
Yeah, and that's what they're hoping, is Bradford can be the right corner, and if he makes plays like that, he will. So Brent Alexander, who's ordinarily a free safety, can play that position. So they have the guys out there in the defensive backfield they want right now.
Bradford, hero in Colorado's win in the Orange Bowl over Notre Dame for the national championship, 1991.
Milking the clock again.
Third and goal. Left side, caught, touchdown. O.J. McDuffie, Ronnie Bradford.
And what a setup. The play before, the same matchup on the inside slant. And Bradford takes it away. Marino says, okay, if you're going to take away the inside, can you take away the outside? So comes back, same kind of play. The break outside, touchdown.
23, Ronnie Bradford, defensively for the Cardinals.
It's sometimes art.
Marino looking up at the large replay facility they have here. And Nedney is on to try the extra point. Well, the Cardinals provided a spark for the fans when they scored 10 unanswered points to open the quarter. But Dan Marino said, wait a minute, I haven't had my shot in the third and fourth quarter yet. Now he has. Second touchdown pass of the night, number 353 in his career, Dan Marino. 14th season, Dan Marino still has the fire in the eyes. He gets his second touchdown pass of the night, 38-10, 12:52 to go. And here comes Miami's kickoff. McElroy, 2 yards deep. The wall comes to the left side. And Leland McElroy out to the 28-yard line. Let's go back and take a look at Dan Marino working on the Cardinals.
This is beautiful. This is two offensive plays ago. Remember O.J. McDuffie matched up on Bradford. They run the slant. Hey, Bradford does just a great job. So what do? You say, okay, let's try something else. You fake inside, you go out. Bradford is trying to take away the slant that time, and that's awfully easy, and that is just great play calling and good execution.
Ronnie Bradford, waived by the Denver Broncos in August, picked up and signed as the season started by the Arizona Cardinals.
You talk about being on an island for corners, and that was it. He made a super play on the slant, and you can't cover everything against Dan Marino.
38-10. Kent Graham back split behind him. And off his back foot, he finds Larry Centers, number 37. Tackle made by Shane Burton, number 75. There's Burton. Well, this Miami defense, brilliant against the run last week against Curtis Martin in New England, and now they've got Arizona with a down 38-10, so the Cardinals will throw it for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
This is going to be the #1 defense against the run, I think, in the league after week 2.
Yeah, absolutely. And they've done a lot of different things well. It started with their down linemen, but Zach Thomas, their middle linebackers, had a lot to do with that.
Handoff up the middle. On the sidelines, Bernie Kosar, not a bad backup.
Boy, you know, there's a lot of inexperience around the NFL in the backup position, but not with these guys. You got Bernie Kosar, who's been here for a couple of years. They just signed Craig Erickson. This is one of the more likable guys in this entire league.
Bernie, of course, played collegiately for Jimmy Johnson at the University of Miami. We chatted with him last night. Pat said, has he changed? No, not a bit. 3rd and 6. Graham comes left into the flat. That's good for the first down out to the 43-yard line. The catch made by Frank Sanders. That's 8 catches tonight for Frank Sanders.
Well, he had 7 last week, a couple of drops, including one in the end zone, but he has redeemed himself tonight. And, you know, he's been pretty good after the catch. They've gotten some yards. They've squeezed some yardage out of Frank Sanders after he's caught those balls. And that's the idea in this West Coast offense, or the Southwest offense, as they call it here, is to get the ball into the hands of, 5 to 8 yards and then let them run with it.
Another running play at right tackle out across the 47. That's Larry Centers. Zach Thomas still in there, number 54, and Steve Entman, number 94. Boy, he had such promise, and then those very, very serious knee injuries. Really a testament to his courage that he's playing football.
Absolutely. And they said, we talked to George Hill. He wasn't the player he was a few years ago when he came out, but he's productive. And they rotate him in place about a third of the game.
Matter of fact, he and Gardner, the #1 draft pick, side by side in tackles right now. Here's Graham. Tipped away. Picked off. It's intercepted. Lewis Oliver, that's his 2nd interception in as many weeks.
Boy, and he set the tone for last week's game on the opening drive by New England. Lewis Oliver picked off Drew Bledsoe and gets it down and brought it down inside the 10. He had a heck of a game last week.
10-14 remaining in the ball game. It's all Miami. The Fish exploding in the desert.
Nice. Not bad. Not bad. Step back.
All right, Dan, let's see that famous fast release.
We'll see it again?
All right, John.
Okay, here we go.
You can do a little better than that. Let's see. What's he doing? He's scrambling. Duck! Get real.
Logo Athletic, authentic team apparel.
It's the story of Kyle Brady, and he found the perfect way to make a call. He told Eric Metcalf, who phoned Moose Johnson, who dialed Jerry Bob and spread the word to Curtis Martin. Bryce Pop shared the news with Brent Jones. Last but not least was their friend Chris Carter. 1-800-COLLECT was used on all the phones, and they saved a bunch. They saved a bunch. With 1-800-COLLECT, they saved a bunch.
Up to 44%.
Remaining in the ball game, and Bernie Kosar has replaced Dan Marino at quarterback. Bernie at 32, but as they say about the desert, it's a dry heat. In his case, it's a young 32. And among the 2nd-string quarterbacks in the NFL now, the 2nd most experienced, Bernie Kosar. Dave Craig has moved on to Chicago, where he backs up Eric Kramer. But wow, the combination of Marino and Kosar are pretty potent. And then they've signed Craig Erickson, which I think is quite a coup. I know Jimmy Johnson does.
Absolutely, because this is the last year for Bernie Kosar on his current contract. And, who knows if Cleveland is to get another team, whether Bernie Kosar might like to finish his career in Cleveland with that next team. And Craig Erickson, you're right, this guy can play and win. And whereas some teams struggle to find a first and certainly backup quarterbacks, the Miami Dolphins are well stocked, 3 deep.
Remember when at Dallas, all of a sudden Johnson got Steve Walsh along with Aikman, and what he turned that into?
A bunch of good draft picks.
Yes. 2nd down and 7. Kozar hands it off right side.
You know, Kozar was saying last night to us, too, that this is his 3rd go-around with Jimmy Johnson. You know, had him in college at the University of Miami, played for his first team there at the University of Miami. Then he had him in Dallas for a while when Jimmy was there, and now with the Dolphins. So Jimmy Johnson knows what he has in Bernie Kozar, a backup quarterback that can win. And Vern, you and I have talked about backup quarterbacks in the NFL. The depth there shocks me, how little depth there are.
What is it? 3? There are? There is.
There is. How little depth there is.
You have just prevented 1,000 phone calls.
I get them all.
3rd and 9. Seth Joyner changes the defense at the last minute. Kozar sacked. Dropped at the 38. And Eric Swan got there, number 98. Eric Swan, a late signee, is in running shape, but his coaches say he's still not in football shape.
Yeah, when he's in shape, though, he's a dominant player, and one guy can't block him, as the Dolphins found out right there. I mean, Reggie White's strength, but with tremendous quickness.
And John Kidd is on to punt. Swan gets a sack. 8:25. Marcus Dowdell is back to return it. Well, we had a brief flurry of excitement in the 3rd quarter. 24-0 at the half. And then the Cardinals changed quarterbacks. Kent Graham came on, led the team to 10 points, 10 quick points. 1 on a long drive and 1 on a fumble recovery that led to a field goal. But since then, Miami has assumed dominance.
Number 1 draft pick, Simeon Rice. Have you noticed, Coach, several coaches described him as cat quick?
Mm-hmm.
You've had a busy summer this summer. Not only did we have the Happy Gilmore routine, but you were a cover boy this summer in a magazine called Cats. There he is.
Oh, no.
Now you had, what, 6, 7 cats around your house.
You know what? That's nada.
Yeah, that's nada right there.
That's nada. That's what I was talking about the first half. You guys, you have no shame.
Cover boy. Now, Bernie, you actually were part of an article. It's called the Corner, Celebrity Cats Corner. And I want to read one quote, if I might. And this directly attributed to you about your cat named Sugar.
This is a setup.
The sweetest, most lovable, most affectionate animal I've ever been around. I love this cat in ways I can't even begin to tell you.
I was misquoted.
How many cats do you own?
We have 4.
Gee,
Nancy should be here to defend this.
One of your cats, I read, has a walk-in closet. Huh?
Well, it's a large house.
You know what cats I have? Nada. I have nada cats.
Oh, I have been set up.
Oh, my.
I would give anything if it wasn't 38-10.
You know, some of the other cats, Muffin. Sounds like a sorority student at SMU.
No.
Huh?
She's gone.
Oh.
Jody and Jennifer. One of the cats is named after Joe Cash.
Oh, my
How
goodness.
we doing?
Well, I hope that
boy.
cat's a better spotter.
Total setup. It's Graham. Tipped down. Incomplete. Sean Hill, number 31.
Celebrity cats.
Back to the football game.
Yeah.
Please. Oh, mercy. Oh.
Lordy. I mean, what a summer. Happy Gilmore in that.
Meanwhile, Vince Tobin, at the age of 52, getting his first chance to be a head coach.
Deep with the Dolphins, number 83, Scott.
Hard to recover. Scott Miller waits for it at the 25. Fly tackle. And Miller's out to the 40-yard line.
Out of bounds at the 39.
With any mercy, we've only got 7 minutes and 14 seconds left in this ball game. It's been a long night.
37 last-minute victory drives. This man wins games he shouldn't. Because to John Elway, it's never over. Bucks, Broncos, next Sunday night at 8. The NFL's on TNT.
38-10, Miami leading.
Well, I'm glad he's tuning in, Tucson.
Yep.
A lot of people may have watched the Emmys, but he was tuning in.
Bernie Kosar stays in at quarterback on 1st down and 10, replacing Dan Marino. And he hands it off. Bernie Parmalee, number 30. getting some action. And Ron McKinnon, number 57, makes the tackle. Well, the Cardinals are going to go to 0-2, and then they're on the road for the next 2 weeks. At New England, at New Orleans, back home against St. Louis. Vince Tobin's bunch.
And then typical for Arizona Cardinals. See, October 13th at Dallas. Guess who comes back that weekend?
Michael Irvin, I heard. Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Miami, in the meantime, gets to go back home next week. Here's 2nd down and 7. Gozar with the change. Catch is made. Scott Miller. And Ron McKinnon, number 57, makes the tackle.
Another one of those middle linebackers, Ronald McKinnon, like Zach Thomas, went sideline to sideline. This guy's a great story. First defensive player to win the Harlan Hill Trophy, which is a Division II equivalent of the Heisman. A rookie at a free agent out of North Alabama. Plays on all the special teams, but says, hey, I dream of playing every down as a starting linebacker.
And nice sense of symmetry also, that Harlan Hill Trophy named after a man who played as McKinnon did at North Alabama. 1st and 10. After the pass play to Miller, and Bernie Kosar comes into the flat. Byers makes his 2nd catch tonight at the 41. Keith Byers now with a streak at 130. In the new position at tight end. I was mentioning the fact that they go home, and you got to like their chances, Pat, of going 3-0. They get the New York Jets next week.
Yeah, the Jets absolutely struggling, and you know, all the offensive firepower they thought they had.
I look forward to the inevitable concert that will take place in Fort Lauderdale, given by the artist formerly known as Prince in the stadium formerly known as Joe Robbie. It's got to happen, don't you think?
Oh boy, you're stretching, but I love it.
1st and 10. I'm stretching. I'm not the one pulling out cat stories. Flag is down. McKinnon made the tackle. Ron McKinnon was telling us that at the championship game this year, North Alabama won the title again. They were 41-1 during his 3 years there. He had a chance to meet Harlan Hill, who just retired as a principal of a high school in Florence, Alabama. Harlan Hill played with the Chicago Bears.
Holding.
One of the first small college players.
41 on the offense. 10-yard penalty. Repeat 1st down.
To become a big force in the NFL. And I can remember as a boy watching him. He was a terrific player.
You know, the guys from small schools oftentimes, you know, play a lot harder. Ronald McKinnon, Larry Centers is like that, was telling us that.
The Slate scoreboard rolling by. Detroit wins over Tampa Bay. Another tough night for Trent Dilfer.
With a good night for Barry Sanders, what had 23 yards.
38-10. Miami's going to go 2-0. Arizona's going to drop 0-2. Gozar with a play fake to Parmalee. And then he shovels the ball to Bernie Parmalee, who is tackled at the 33-yard line.
You used the word symmetry a moment ago, which, by the way, I like.
Okay.
But we talk about symmetry. Wouldn't it be nice to see Bernie Kosar back in Cleveland? I mean, it's not that far-fetched. Cleveland destined to get a new team.
And when are they supposed to get the franchise?
I think it's 99.
99,
yeah.
Right. Well, I meant what I said a while ago about being, I wasn't facetious. He is a young 32.
Yeah.
Came into the league, of course, at 19. And got some years left. And maybe he'll have a new role in Cleveland. Who knows? Equity, I think it's called.
Yeah, I hear you.
Devin McDonald, number 55, makes the tackle on Bernie Parmalee.
Well, think about Jimmy Johnson. Just this week, just like last week's game, it's not only the fact that he is going to win this game, but how they are going to win it. Running the football, playing good, tough defense, not being one-dimensional, and not dipping into the candy store too often. The candy store, again, being Dan Marino.
Well, he got some gumdrops, but he only got 23 of them tonight.
He looks good. He said lost 25 pounds.
Yes.
He's in shape, too.
Blitz coming. Gozar fires it complete at the 23-yard line. Lamar Thomas, who had a touchdown grab, and What a tough night for Boomer Esiason.
Well, you know, he's played on some great teams and some lousy teams, but how you respond to adversity really tells you a lot about a man, I think, and not only just a football player. I think always in the past he's responded pretty well, but this will be a difficult week for him because I anticipate the Cardinals will start Ken Graham next week, and how he handles that and how he responds will really determine how well I think this team ultimately does.
On fourth down, Joe Nedney comes on to try and add to the lead. This will be a 40-yard field goal, but it's not going to be good. Well, we began the evening talking about the contribution of the Dolphin rookies in week 1, and they have added to it again tonight.
Here's Jabbar following up a big week from a week ago. Zach Thomas again played phenomenally, I thought. Pritchett, more of a quiet night than he had last week, but certainly productive again as a blocker. And number 92, Darrell Gardner, their #1 draft pick from Baylor.
Yeah, he began the evening with a nicked ankle.
He ends it with ice on.
Yes. Here's Graham. Nobody open. Finally heaves it to the left, and it's incomplete. And again, the emphasis on the ground game. Marino, 22 passes last week, only 23 tonight. And the defense against the run has been outstanding for Miami.
And what they're showing you, they can now win in a couple different ways. They have been able to reformulate themselves. They were a disappointment a year ago. Let's be honest, they are underachievers, but they reformulated themselves. This is a better Miami team. The Cardinals continue to try to reconstruct the team.
Gets some pressure and goes deep right side. It's intercepted. Picked off by Terrell Buckley, who has got his second grab of the evening and his third of the year.
He looked like Larry Brown. He was wide open. Did you see that? I don't think Ken Graham ever even saw him. That's not a good sign when your quarterback and receivers are fighting with one another. Not a good sign at all. But there was clearly miscommunication. Remember how Larry Brown on this very field in the Super Bowl last year caught all those interceptions.
Well, let's see Dowdell.
At the top of the screen, yeah, you know, he was expecting, I'm talking about Graham, to have him run a sharp out. Instead, Terrell Buckley ran a beautiful pattern and was wide open.
Al Davis just called. He wants to offer Terrell Buckley $2.4 million. Oh, dear. We need the 2-minute warning. 38-10. Parmalee. And we're going to get the 2-minute warning. 38-10. Miami rolling toward their second win of the 1996 season. And they've got another opportunity to score. Dan Marino. When the Dolphins have rushed more than passed, the record is 78-65. Rather, passed more than rush, and when they rushed more than they passed, how about that? 38-3.
Yeah, that really surprised me. But 93% of the time they win when they can run the ball, when they pass it in. Look what's happened tonight. Even play selection. But there will be games this year where they're going to need his right arm.
And off to Parmalee. Sweeps to the left. Alexander helps make the stop at the 10-yard line.
You know, Vern, remember the Dolphins ended last season in Buffalo where that man had to throw 64 passes. It started this year with him throwing 22 and winning. So, you know, they can give you a 1-2 punch.
Not that anyone should be deceived by what they're doing, though, but traditionally over the last 6-7 years, they've played well in September.
Yeah, clearly.
Their problems have come in November and December. I mean, this is a terrific way for the new regime to get started.
Absolutely.
And a lot of hope for the team, but as Pat said a while ago, it's still 14 to play after tonight.
I didn't say that exactly.
Well,
it's too obvious. I said it was a marathon.
You were thinking it. I'm reading your mind.
Hey, speaking of, you know, you mentioned Miami goes back home next week to play the Jets. That man right there, Jimmy Johnson, has a pretty interesting streak going in the state of Florida. He has won 31 straight games in the state of Florida. That goes from his days when he was at the University of Miami, and also obviously with the Cowboys, and now with the Dolphins. So he's pretty good in that state.
Do you think there'll be any hype at all attached to that game on the 27th of October?
No.
When the Cowboys, I think it's the Dallas.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right.
Dallas, isn't it?
October 27th?
I was shocked that we didn't get to do that game. Joe Nedney has missed his second. And Pete Stoyanovich has a wry smile on his face now. Join us next Sunday here on TNT. Tampa Bay takes on Denver at Mile High Stadium. That class of '83 featured a number of guys: Jim Kelly, Dan Marino, and this guy, John Elway. John in his 14th year. The Broncos are 2-0. Tampa Bay and Denver next Sunday, 8 o'clock Eastern, the NFL on TNT.
You know, they're a little bit like Miami. The Broncos, you know, Terrell Davis is running the ball pretty good. They're sacking the quarterback, playing good defense, and you always have Elway to count on.
Graham, I bet he doesn't throw to Dowdell. Here's Centers. The flag is down. The flag is at the 27-yard line. Larry Centers moving up the sideline. Vince Tobin looks on.
18 years as a defensive coordinator before he got this start, and we said, you know, he succeeded Buddy Ryan twice. Once with the Bears.
Ineligible member of the passing team downfield. 5-yard penalty. Repeat first down.
As the defensive coordinator, and here he really did inherit a mess.
Yeah, I think it was a little easier for him to replace Buddy Ryan in Arizona than it was in Chicago.
My Buddy was coming off a Super Bowl defense.
Steel postgame show coming up. Ernie Johnson will be joined by Dan Marino, and scores and highlights with Vince, Mark, and Randall Cunningham, 21 seconds away.
You know, it's tough for Vince this week. Last week he had something positive to talk about. His team played hard the whole way, had a chance to win. It didn't happen tonight. They were beaten by a better team, and I'm not sure what you say to your team after this game.
Here's Graham across the middle to Centers. And that'll be short of the first down, or maybe they'll have it at the 30-yard line.
You know, Green Bay has kind of turned their franchise around the last few years. Miami's doing it again. The Cowboys have done it a couple of times.
And appropriately, the whistle blows in the grasp back at the 23-yard line, and the clock has expired, and Jimmy Johnson's team goes to 2-0. And they did it with the run. 79 yards from Spikes, 41 from Jabbar. Dan Marino threw for 2 touchdown passes. They got 2 more on the ground. Miami goes to 2-0. The Cardinals, an all too familiar position. They're 0-2.
Victimized by Dan Marino.
Dan straight back to pass. He's looking, fires into the end zone. It's complete for a touchdown to Lamar Thomas.
Irving Spikes, number 40, helped Marino shuffle the Cards, who have lost every home opener since moving from St. Louis in 1988.
Marino to Spikes, has a hole up the middle. He's to the 45, the 40, cutting to the left side at the 35, gets away at the 30. He's to the 25, going right, now up the middle at the 20 and down to the 16-yard line. Here's Marino, he's throwing for O.J. again, he makes the catch. Touchdown, Dolphins.
Danny says, okay, Ronnie Bradford, if you're going to jump on that quick slant.
Well, take a look at your score from the Arizona desert. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar is just fast-breaking the Cardinals. He has a couple of touchdown runs in the first half for Miami. And here at the TNT studios, in front of a crowd slightly smaller than that at Sun Devil Stadium, welcome to the Fruit of the Loom halftime report. I'm Vince Cellini, along with Mark May and Randall Cunningham. First things first, good move not going to play for the Cardinals. Bad move ever playing for the Cardinals.
No, wait a minute. First of all, I got paid. Second of all, the Arizona Cardinals, they deserve what they get. When you call to arms your fans and say, please come down and watch us play on national television, and you perform like this, they deserve what they get.
And you were going to get paid regardless.
Yeah, but you like it with us, Randall, admit it. Okay, now a staple of all TNT halftime shows, the no-huddle highlights, so here we go. We'll start with the Giants in Dallas, and man, do the Cowboys get well this afternoon. Troy Aikman, 3 touchdown passes. That one to the neon one, blanking the Giants in the Texas Stadium opener.
St. Louis to San Francisco, rough day for the quarterbacks. Rookie Tony Banks, welcome to the NFL, gets sacked. And Steve Young, look at him scramble, but he's got a pull-up lane, injuring his groin right here, but the Niners still around. 12 straight over the Rams, 34-0.
Denver at Seattle. John Elway hits Aaron Craver, who takes it 40 yards. He's moving, he's digging. He puts a move there. Oh, you can't have me. I've got to score. Stiff arm to the face. Broncos win 30, Seahawks 20.
Now the boys of Bolt. San Diego was hosting Cincinnati, and Leonard Russell just plowing through the Bengal defense. He scored on a couple of short touchdown runs. And the Chargers are 2-0 now. The Bengals 0-2.
Yoy and double yoy. Myron Cope, Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Vinny Testaverde back to pass on the second play of the game, but he's picked off by Rod Woodson. This is my house. He goes 43 yards for the TD. Steelers roll 31-17.
New England at Buffalo. Jim Kelly hits Quinn early for a 64-yard TD to put the Bills up by 7 in the fourth. The Pats have a chance. Dave Meggett gets the ball up here. No! Dropped in the backfield. Bills win 17, Patriots 10.
Long time rivals, the Raiders and the Chiefs. This at Arrowhead. Remember James Hasty hurt the Raiders in overtime at Arrowhead a year ago? Hurts them again. Derek Thomas forced the fumble of Billy Joe Hobart. Hasty's gone, 80 yards for the touchdown. Chiefs continue their dominance of the Raiders. That's 7 straight wins over the silver and the black.
Chicago at Washington, RFK Stadium, a place near and dear to my heart. Terry Allen goes off right tackle, brings it to the outside. 28 yards for the TD, the only one of the game. The Skins win 10-3 over the Bears.
Carolina at New Orleans. Winslow Oliver fields the punt and takes it 84 yards for the TD. As the Panthers win a close one on the road, 22-20.
I say, Jasper, was that Winslow?
That was Winslow.
All right, Houston at Jacksonville, and a big day for the Heisman Trophy winner, the rookie Eddie George. Nothing there. Eddie George makes something happen. This is a big 76-yard run. He finished with 143 yards on the day, and the only reason he didn't break this for a touchdown is a fellow Buckeye, Vinnie Clark, tracked him down. In any event, 34-27, the Oilers, a winner at Jayville.
Minnesota at Atlanta. Brad Johnson's first NFL start, subbing for the injured Warren Woon. Hits David Frisch with a 3-yard flick for the touchdown. Vikings take the lead and win it 23-17 over the Falcons.
Tampa Bay at Detroit. Scott Mitchell drops back. He slings it after throwing 4 interceptions last week. Herman Moore, get fired up. You guys win 21-6.
And we saved the best for last. The Colts and the Jets in a game that delayed 30 minutes because of lightning and thunder. Captain Courageous Jim Harbaugh ran for a touchdown, threw for another. Colts win, they're 2-0. Our halftime score from Tempe, Arizona, 24-0. Abdul-Jabbar doing some damage against Arizona. We'll be right back with the super teams, Dallas and Pittsburgh. Life is good again for both. More of the Fruit of the Loom halftime report. Halftime of the Dolphins and the Cardinals, and two teams looking super once again. Week 1 now a distant memory for the Cowboys and the Steelers after stumbling through their openers, both teams losing, both failing to score a touchdown. Dallas and Pittsburgh found victory and inspiration today. Aching Emmett running for 94 yards on 25 carries, and Zach, the quarterback, threw for 198, a pair of touchdowns. Craig Sager caught up with Troy Aikman.
Not often we say a game was won on Tuesday, but seeing Emmett come out, shed his hospital gown, put the pads on and say, I'm going to play, what did that do for this team?
Well, I think that it's a football team that really, over the years, has grown to expect Emmett to come back and play. So we were all concerned about Emmett when he went down in the Monday night ball game. We saw him on Wednesday and really knew then that he was going to be okay and was going to be able to play. And certainly we're a team that realizes we're much better with Emmett in there. But we're also a team that has a lot of confidence in Sherman Williams if, in fact, he had to play.
This game is frustrating, it's emotional, it's rewarding, and but above all, you know, Coach Cowher's given me an opportunity to get back in the saddle and be the starting quarterback here, and I just wanted to anchor down the spot today and do my part.
The Zach attack. Meanwhile, Emmitt Smith, his left knee banged up in the fourth quarter, iced it down. It's just precautionary. Randall, my question to you is, why is Emmett playing in the fourth quarter of a blowout game?
Mark, you graduated from college, right? Emmitt Smith did too, and I think he knows when to come out of the game. He's not going to be a guy who's going to do something stupid. He wants that rushing title. Let him go get it.
That's why he's in the game. Mark, you can relate to a performance like Emmitt's, can't you? It's shades of Riggo for the Cowboys today.
Well, back when I played for the Redskins in the 80s, we knew when Riggo got hurt, that just lit the air out of our tires. But we know when Riggo came back on Friday, went through the walkthrough, that was so uplifting for us. We knew we were going to win on Sunday. He was going to get us 140 or 50 and 3 touchdowns, and we were going to win. Same thing with Emmett. They know that if he's back by Friday, they're going to win on Sunday.
Yeah, a couple of indestructible backs. Now, Mike Tomczak, Mayday, is he the answer or just a stopgap problem for the Steelers?
Well, when a guy throws 60 touchdowns and 78 interceptions in his career, stopgap.
Yeah. What do you think, Randall?
Well, as a starter, Mike Tomczak is 32-22. How many games have you won?
I got a ring. I got 2.
All right, I got 1 too.
Guys, let's talk a little bit about our game tonight. It didn't look like an aberration, that opener for Miami. They're looking awfully strong tonight.
I think both teams are looking good. I think Miami's definitely got the offense in Jabbar. But, Mark, as you know, you've seen just as much as I have. They're both good teams.
No, wait a second, Randall. I know Boomer's not having a big day. They haven't scored a point. They've got a goose egg. You're trying to pump up Mr. Goodwill saying, hey, you guys look pretty good, Billy. That's not going to work, Randall. They are atrocious. I mean, Miami is just sticking it to them in every facet of the game.
All right, this kind of debate rages on in the Steel postgame show. That's following the Dolphins and the Cardinals after our game on TNT. They will have highlights galore, reports from Pittsburgh, Dallas. We'll go back to Tempe. We hope you'll join us after the game. Meanwhile, Arizona, they need to stop those Cardinal sins. It's all Miami in the first half. Vern and Pat will be along with the second-half kickoff in just a moment.
Hope you had a comfortable time watching the Fruit of the Loom halftime report.